All right, San Diego and Southern California, what's going on? Hour one. We're here until 6, and we have a great show lined up for you. This is the best time of the year for Padres fans. This series is tied at 1 between the Padres and the Dodgers. We will be downtown each of the next 2 days from 3 to 6 at the Naughty Barrel 9th and Market. So first things first, join us tomorrow and Wednesday. If you're going to the game, come hang out. They'll have happy hour. On Tuesday and Wednesday, we'll broadcast live from 3 to 6. And what happened yesterday has completely turned the tides on the series. It's not just me saying that. It's Las Vegas. Padres are now a favorite to win the series. They're a heavy favorite to win tomorrow. We'll see if they can do it. Minus 145 behind Michael King. But what happened yesterday at Dodger Stadium was the Padres punking the Dodgers in Los Angeles. Plain and simple. Padres got under the Dodgers' skin and then made them pay with their play. 6 home runs, the most ever hit by a road team in Major League Baseball postseason history. So it was incredible. And the Padres, from down a game to even, have turned the tides on the series. They have stolen home field advantage. We'll see if it's like 2022 or not. But last night was just spectacular with Profar's moment in left, with Manny Machado chirping with Flaherty, with the Padres hitting 6 home runs, and with the series now coming back to San Diego, tied at 1, and the Padres stealing the momentum and home field advantage from the Dodgers.
You didn't mention their fans being complete morons.
Well, I kind of did because I think that, yes, that goes without saying.
Yes. Remember how I've said multiple times how this team is prepared for every situation this year?
Yeah.
Last night was a situation that they've experienced before this year. And if you go back to the National Series, you had the chirping from both sides. You had, not like it wasn't like an altercation last night between both teams, but it's on the verge of being one here very, very soon. And they're a team, and Mike Schill has said it. We won't start anything, but we'll finish it. And the fact that Jack Flaherty decided in that moment, after giving up 4 runs, did not pitch well, he left the game with 2 runners on, to chirp at Manny Machado of all people and give this life to the Padres, even though they were up 3-1 at the time. And by the way, Jackson Merrill had that just massive, massive hit to back up Manny after he struck out there to make it a 4-1 game. It's the wrong team to chirp at, man. The absolute wrong team.
Sure.
And then it follows with the next inning, Dodger fans throwing baseballs at Jerks and Profar. And then on the other end, you see other fans throwing trash at Fernando Tatis Jr. in the outfield. And that whole situation was a complete S show from the Dodgers fans' perspective. And it all started with Flaherty. I think it all stemmed with him running his mouth to Manny after he struck Manny out. And then he left the game. And it was a trickle-down effect. Like, you have what Profar and Tatis were doing in the game last night, banter, trolling, like, that's all fun and games. That should be all fun and games. And it turned into a moment where Dodger fans, by no surprise, once again embarrassed themselves and look like the absolute worst fans possible.
I think it's way worse on Flaherty than it is for Dodger fans, and I think it's bad for both. But for Flaherty to be barking in that spot, trailing in a game, which is exactly what the Padres want. It plays right into their hands, to your point, from what Will Smith said about Jerks and Profar 6 months ago, about him being irrelevant, playing right into the Padres' hands, to the Nationals taking offense to the Padres' actions after a walk-off, playing right into the Padres' fans, to reigniting a Padres team that's already motivated against a Dodger team that they beat in the regular season, that they beat in the postseason of 2022. That's the game you're going to play. You think that is to your advantage? Here's what's happened now since then. You had the Manny Machado moment. He rallies the team around, the leadership moment that everyone's talking about. Now you have the Padres coming back home with the momentum and the pitching matchups that are advantageous, specifically Game 3, Michael King, Walker Buehler. And the Padres are set up beautifully. Now, I don't know what's going to happen in the series. I don't know if the Padres win it or not. But I do know this, that I said take one of the 2 games, and you've done more than enough work, and that's exactly what they did. And now they've got the possibility of Dylan Cease at their disposal on 3 days rest if necessary in Game 4. They have Yu Darvish, who was spectacular yesterday despite all the noise. Darvish just did his thing, went 7 innings. This, to me, and again, they got to go earn it. They got to go win it. But Who would you rather be? I was saying this last night on the wrap-up show. You want to be the Dodgers coming here 1-1? Or you want to be the Padres coming here 1-1? I don't even think it's close based on what we've seen play out the first two games of this series. I really don't.
How it's played out, I would absolutely want to be the Padres here. With the game last night, the way it happened and unfolded. Yep. I mean, we're 6 minutes in, and I feel like we should have mentioned, we haven't yet, how amazing Yu Darvish was last night.
Do you listen?
Like, have we talked extensively about it?
No, we haven't even mentioned it. I'm like, Yu Darvish went 7 innings, was spectacular.
Well, Yu Darvish went 7 innings. He was spectacular.
Right.
The whole game played out into the Padres' hands. It's exactly, if you're the Padres and you're a Padres fan, that's exactly the type of game that you want to play out, where not only do you get the win and you even up the series 1-1, but everything that transpired, you effed around and you found out last night. And this is not the team that you want to do that to. Again, could they lose the series? Yeah, they still could.
They could.
Of course they could. It's not like the Padres are coming home with a commanding 2-0 lead. Anything can still happen. The Dodgers still have a really good lineup. They still have Shohei Ohtani. But the life that this team got last night, from the idiot fans in the outfield to the moron Jack Flaherty yapping to Manny Machado, to, like you mentioned, Manny pulling the team in for like a huddle.
Yeah.
After that moment, they proceeded to go out and hit 4 home runs and score 6 runs in the final 2 innings of the game, just completely pouring it on. There's a definite correlation there in my mind.
Yeah, I agree.
I think for everything that Manny Machado has been through here in San Diego, particularly last year, and it was not a good year for him, this has been one of his finest seasons yet. And it kind of culminated last night with that moment in the dugout, being a leader, bringing the group together. And then the best part is the team responded right after that.
Immediately to your point. By the way, we have updates from Mike Schild, who is speaking to the media at this hour. He says he's, quote unquote, pretty optimistic about Xander Bogaerts. Now, he left with what they described as a hamstring cramp. They will need him, obviously. They're already without Ha-Seong Kim. He also said that Game 4 starter will likely be announced today or tomorrow. Didn't rule out Dylan Cease on short rest. So the one blip in there for the Padres that we've been talking about. I mean, Joe Musgrove's out, obviously, for the remainder of the postseason, likely for 2025, is, well, they're down to really 3 starters. Now they could turn to Martin Perez. They could get cute. There's some options in there, obviously, as well. But we'll see about Game 4. I think it's different if they're up 2-1 as opposed to being down 2-1. But, momentum is as good as who's pitching the next game for you. And the Padres have a really good pitcher throwing for them in Game 3. It's Michael King, who's coming off 7 innings against Atlanta. He was brilliant. Struck out 12. So that's where we are. Walker Buehler was up and down this year, and the Padres have Michael King, and the Padres have Petco Park, and the Padres have this team in this lineup. And for me, the difference between 2022 and 2024 right now, and again, we don't know what happens the rest of the series, is it felt to me like in 2022 it was about slaying the dragon. It was about beating the Dodgers, where this to me is about so much more. Like, this to me is about extending this postseason run, paying off everything you've done in the second half. Like, I feel like they have their sights on more than just winning this series. You got to do that first. Yeah. But this to me isn't about just solely winning the series. This to me is about completing a remarkable October, and they've got a chance to put themselves in good position depending on what happens tomorrow night against LA in Game 3.
Yeah, they're on a mission.
Exactly.
They're on a mission, and you can see it. And from a standpoint of, like, if they win this series, no one in that clubhouse is going to feel content.
Right.
They still have a bigger goal, which is winning the World Series. The Dodgers are just in their way right now. And the rivalry that this is between these two teams and fan bases has brought it to another level. Like, I mean, the moment last night in the first inning with Jerks and Profar making that catch, then trolling the Dodger fan, and no one knew if he caught it or not until you see Mookie kind of give like a head whip, like, oh, he caught it. And then Joe Davis and John Smoltz then say, oh, he's out. I mean, that started the night on like a very just tense. This one's going to be tense. This one's going to be back and forth. This one's going to be electric. Tempers could flare here. And they absolutely did. I just loved everything about that last night's game from a Padres perspective. Like, I love the trolling from Profar. It's all fun and games. And then the fans decided to be morons and idiots and throw stuff at Profar and Tatis. And then Tatis having just, I mean, a postseason game that you'll remember forever. I mean, he's having a postseason right now where he should be the player that they should be putting graphics up for how many batters he's away.
Yeah.
Because he's the one that's hitting 600. He's the one that has 3 home runs in this postseason and 5 RBIs and has an OPS over 2,000. He has been amazing for this team.
Let me ask you this. Why is it that Dodger fans treat what Profar and Tatis did yesterday? And Tatis had so many just brilliant moments on field that played out with the fans at Dodger Stadium, like you said, trolling. Good. Why is it that what Profar and Tatis did went too far, but when I watched the postseason with Bruce Gratterall and Joe Kelly, that's okay?
Exactly.
Explain to me how one isn't the same as the other. In fact, I would argue that the Kelly Gratterall stuff is way more Bush League than what played out last night with Profar in left, who made a play, and Tatis in right, who's being booed mercifully throughout the course of the entire game and is being playful and fun. And again, this plays right into their this is what the Padres want.
Yes.
This is the game. They want to make it personal. They want it to be about more than just winning over the course of 9 innings. I think that you are putting them in a position where they're tough to beat. This is what Manny Machado, he'd prefer to chirp. Jerkson Profar, he wants to get under your skin. Fernando Tatis Jr., he's an animated player. When you start playing that game with this team, it's the wrong team to play that game with, as illustrated by last night. And there's countless examples that we've talked about.
They're sitting there like, I dare you to say something.
Yes,
to us.
Exactly.
Like, say something to us.
Exactly.
Try to get under our skin. It ain't going to work first. And by the way, we're going to finish this. Now, they finished it emphatically last night.
Sure.
They have to still win 2 more games in the series. But last night, to me, just it was the poster of F around and find out.
Completely.
And that's what happened with Flaherty, and especially the Dodger fans, those morons in the outfield that decided to throw stuff on the field. I mean, what are we doing here?
Is that going to be a new movie? There was Angels in the Outfield. Is the sequel going to be
Dodger
morons in the outfield?
Yeah, it's just, I mean.
What a bunch of a-holes.
Yeah, there's like no room for any of that in any sport.
The fan stuff I can understand, even though I completely agree with you. You have 50,000 people. It's hard to control all of them. People are drinking. It's the postseason. It's heightened. The Jack Flaherty stuff is inexcusable. He put his team in an unfavorable position. He did that to himself. The fans didn't do that. Flaherty did that, and he'll have to live with it on the other side. We'll hear from Flaherty coming up on the other side. We'll hear from Jerkson Profar as well. Manny Machado as well this hour. We've got a giveaway for you today as well to SeaWorld's Howl O Scream event that we'll give away in the 4 o'clock hour. Grant Paulson, MLB Network Radio, will join us at 5 p.m. We're getting you ready for Game 3. Tomorrow at 6 p.m. We'll be at the Naughty Barrel tomorrow from 3 to 6. Don't go anywhere. It's Jon and Jim. If you missed our 2024 iHeartRadio Music Festival, you can now watch the best moments exclusively on Hulu beginning Monday. It's been a lot of Mondays. I feel like that's today. You'll see the biggest festival headliners from around the world assembled on one stage on one show. Keith Urban, New Kids on the Block, the Black Crowes, and more. This is the only time you'll see a lineup of superstar performers like this one on one stage, one night. See it all at our 2024 iHeartRadio Music Festival, streaming only on Hulu beginning today. Is there anything better than Jurickson Profar backing up everything he says publicly to the media?
There's not many things better than that, no.
Like, I guess the point is there anything better than Jurickson Profar being on your team when he's having a dream season like this? And the answer is no.
No.
So this was Profar last night. Again, all of the antics from the home run grab or taking away the home run in the first inning.
An amazing catch.
To the baseballs being thrown at him,
Yeah.
to him being animated in the outfield, all of that. What do you got, Brian?
Real quick, I just want all the Dodger fans. Hold on, my headset's not working. All the Dodger fans that were, Judge's numbers shouldn't count because they got that short porch in Yankee Stadium. What the hell was that? What do they call that? The Profar robbed that from?
Yeah,
that requires
it's
no
nothing.
jumping at all.
Yeah, it's like 300 feet down the left field
Yeah,
line
exactly.
with a 4-foot fence. This was Jurickson Profar post-game after the Padres 10-2 win.
To jump to the moment that you were set off. What took place in left field that made you lose your temper like that?
Just a couple baseball coming my way.
Were you hit with any one of those baseballs?
No, I wasn't hit. But when you stand there on the field like that, things are throwing off the back of your head. It's a little scary.
Was that the first time someone's thrown something at you? And was anything thrown at you in game one?
This is the second time. I think that the game one, they wanted to do it, but then they were winning, so they stopped. I think if we were still winning in game one, they would have done the same.
Hey, Jurickson, it's Harold here. This is a rivalry, man. This is a true rivalry. But you got to take me back to the catch. Nobody knew you had it, except for you and one other guy who tried to take it from you.
I always wanted to do that. That was in my mind. I want to rob a homer, and I did it in the playoff. It was awesome.
And there was one fan who he actually looked at you and said, "Man, that was a great catch. I got it." There was a guy you took it from. What were your exchange with him?
No, I didn't say anything, but I felt something touching the glove, trying to get me out of the way. So I had
well, you're in the stands. I'd be grabbing your glove.
It felt like an NBA game when you're dunking on guys. It felt like that.
It was
just an amazing catch. It was a momentum. It was an early momentum shift in the game because you have the home run in the bottom of the first by Tatis.
Top of the first.
Sorry, top of the first. And the bottom of the first is when Profar robs Mookie. And from that moment on, the Padres played exceptional defense.
Mm-hmm.
And they did all the little things right. They had exceptional pitching from Darvish. But that moment from Profar robbing Mookie, the fans, the interaction, the ultimate troll job, it just set the tone for the night.
My favorite part of that was that Mookie didn't even know that he was out until he rounded second.
Yeah,
he thought it was gone.
His right arm was in the air, and then he found out. I mean, that's got to be seconds after Profar had made the play. Profar did not throw it in. In fact, I heard Jackson Merrill post-game say, I didn't know if he caught it or not. I thought by his mannerisms he did, but I wasn't sure if he was yelling at a fan or if he had the ball. And he said, we're going to go there in the first inning. We're going to start this right now. And he said, bring it on. So the same thing that we've been talking about.
If you heard the Dodgers radio call, they thought that it was a home run. They called it a home run until about halfway through. Yeah. And then they're like, oh, did he catch that?
So this interaction with that particular fan is what actually caused, again, like part of the reason. I think Jack Flaherty had a part of it, not the whole reason why, but when you go to the seventh inning, when the fans started throwing stuff on the field and throwing a baseball at Profar, there's a video of Profar going over to the fan that he took the ball away from. Like when he robbed the home run, he handed a ball to that fan. That fan then threw that ball back on the field, not in the direction of Profar, but he threw that ball back on the field. Seconds after that, 2 other people behind this fan threw a baseball at Profar. That's when Profar lost his mind. And then that's when other fans in the right field side of the stadium started throwing trash on the field at Tatis. So, like, if anybody out there is kind of wondering the breakdown of exactly what happened, like, that's how it started. Profar went to this fan that he robbed a home run from, amazing catch, handed him a baseball. That fan then threw the baseball back on the field. 2 other idiot Dodger fans then threw baseballs at Profar. And then other fans on the right field bleachers started throwing trash on the field at Tatis.
None of it matters. They just have to win. Like, nobody's going to talk about this at the end of the series if they lose the series. Exactly, and nobody's going to talk. By the way, I don't want to see it happen at Petco Park, but I can't control 50,000 people either. If someone wearing a Dodger jersey or a Padres jersey does something stupid, Jerks and Profar can't control it. Mike Schill can't control it. You and I can't control it. You know what they can control? And this was Manny's point. Play your game.
Yep.
If you start allowing this to impact your ability to win, nobody's ever going to be like, man, the Profar catch in that series lost. What a moment. And they threw a baseball at him. What a moment. No, you have to win the series.
That moment gets more magnified, like you said,
by winning the
series.
And I love where they are. I really do. I think 1-1 here, to me, feels better than 1-1 in 2022. Now, again, 2022 is the desired result. You don't go back to Dodger Stadium, you win the next 2 games. They had to scratch and claw, Jim. Game 4, they're trailing, right? I mean, they're trailing late in Game 4 in 2022, and they had the miracle, and they had Jay Cronenworth. But I'm just saying, from a team perspective, from the way it stacks up, I like them being 1-1 in this spot with Michael King pitching Game 3 just as much, if not more, than where they sat 2 years ago today, coming home 1-1 against the Dodgers.
Yeah, Game 1 was bad, but on the wrap-up show, we also said there's no time to panic.
Yeah, we did say that.
There's no time to panic, and if they win Sunday night, then it's a whole new ball game. And obviously, they won last night, dramatic fashion. Not dramatic fashion, more like
it's kind of dramatic for a while.
It was more like a giant.
Definitely drama.
There was a lot of drama.
Drama. I didn't think the game was decided until the Padres took it into their own hands in the 7th inning and hit all those home runs and Higgy and Tatis it was a 4-1.
Merrill.
A 4-1 game. How about this? Bottom 7, 4-1. There's the 15-minute stoppage. Darvish walks the leadoff man. So, like, that game's far from over in that moment. You're thinking, the Dodgers going to rally late. They've got this capable offense. We've seen them do it before. But no. Darvish gets out of the inning unscathed, and then the offense takes over, and it became a laugher, essentially, in the final 2 innings.
Oh, yeah, it became a laugher for sure.
Manny Machado spoke postgame. We'll hear from him on the other side. Jack Flaherty, what on earth was he thinking? He did speak with the media postgame as well. We'll hear from Manny and Flaherty, who jawed at each other last night. This series is even at a game apiece. Grant Paulson, MLB Network Radio, will join us at 5 p.m. We've got giveaways for you today as well. This is Jon and Jim.
All right, this update is brought to you by ExpressPros.com. Padres and Dodgers, Game 3 tomorrow night at Petco Park. Michael King on the mound for the Padres against Walker Buehler. We'll be at the Naughty Barrel starting at 3 p.m., getting you ready for first pitch. Moving over to other games happening right now in the postseason. The Guardians and Tigers, Game 2 of their 3-game series. It is scoreless in the, what is it? It's the top of the 8th? It's the top of the 8th inning.
What are you talking about?
Top of the 9th inning. Top of the 9th inning in Cleveland. That game is still scoreless. Cleveland has a 1-0 series lead. Moving over to the Aztecs. They pick up their first conference win of the season on Saturday. Trey White won Defensive Player of the Week honors in the Mountain West Conference, and Danny O'Neill won Mountain West Conference Freshman of the Week. If your supply chain demands a flexible workforce, hire the Express Employment professionals with contract and full-time workers from Express Employment. You get the staff you need and manage contingent labor costs. Learn more at expresspros.com. That's expresspros.com.
Pulse and MLB Network Radio at 5 p.m. We've got a 4-pack of tickets to San Diego's largest nighttime Halloween event. SeaWorld's Hallow Scream will give those away in the 4 o'clock hour. We're going to hear from Manny Machado right here. The back and forth that has been talked about over the last 24 hours between him and the starter for the Dodgers, Jack Flaherty. Of course, the Padres get the last laugh, and that's putting it lightly. I thought that Manny Machado here didn't take the bait post-game.
No, he did not.
And that's critically important.
And good on him.
There's bulletin board material and things are getting personal. So this is Manny Machado post-game reacting to what transpired there between himself and the Dodgers starter Jack Flaherty.
I kind of started everything off.
Where? Which one? There's a few. Strikeout after the strikeout.
Let's start at the beginning.
Yeah, man, he made some good pitches, right? He made quality pitches, got me going, and he won that competition, right? Made his pitches. I couldn't deliver with that situation there. Going into first and second, no outs, right? So he won that one for sure.
What were you guys saying to each other?
Just going back and forth, competition, right? I mean, things that happen in between the lines, people just going back and forth. He's competing for his ball club, and I'm trying to get a big hit for my team. So, yeah, man. I mean, this is the beauty of postseason baseball, right?
Manny, did you take exception with something he said to you?
No, I mean, I didn't even see it. Until after, my dugout started screaming back at him. So, I mean, he won it. I mean, he made his pitches, right? I swung at a ball 4. He got me twice today, and I tip my cap. When credit's due, I kept walking. He made his pitch. I kept going, but then I get to the end of the dugout and I see my team starts sparking. So that's kind of when I figured something, he was probably saying something, and that's when everything kind of just went out, and I didn't really know what was really going on.
You guys, when you went back out for the field, you were still going at it. When Jack was in the dugout, what was being said there? Almost looked like he was challenging you.
Honestly, you can't really hear with this crowd, so I don't really know what was being said. A bunch of gibberish going back and forth, and it was a long inning for us after that with balls being thrown and kind of icing our pitcher there a little bit, and Darvish coming out and then having that 0 was huge for us as well. So yeah, man, it's a beautiful thing to be playing postseason baseball.
Manny, Flaherty said that you threw a ball into their dugout, and that's what prompted him to start barking.
That I threw what? I throw balls all the time into the dugouts.
Into their dugouts?
Both dugouts. They have ball boys. You throw the ball back in there. So, when you try to hit our best hitter, right? Get him out. You can't get him out. Don't hit him, right? We don't go out there and we're not. They got the best player in the game, right? Ohtani. We don't go out there and try to hit Ohtani. We try to get him out, right? Don't go out there and try to hit my guy.
I thought everything he said was really good.
Very, very interesting. I said on the wrap-up show last night, I thought that Flaherty hit Tatis on purpose. You kind of didn't want to go that far.
I don't think he did.
I think it was more intentional than not. And this is what Jack Flaherty had to say post-game. And after you hear Jack Flaherty, I think you'll feel more on my side than not.
You're a pitcher who typically has a bit more swing and miss in your game. Just when you think about their at-bats, what they were doing, how challenging is it when you are facing a team where they don't have as much swing and miss in their game?
Yeah, you just got to keep attacking and kind of do what we did there in those middle innings, which is just force them to try to force some weak contact. You just keep pounding the zone, keep pounding strikes, and good things are going to happen. And that's what we try to do from the beginning. miss with the pitch there to Tatis. He put a good swing on it, and yeah, you just keep filling it up.
Can you go more in depth on your altercation with Machado tonight?
There's a lot to say. Well, first is that fans, like, you should never get involved. There's no reason. There's no need. No reason ever to throw anything at players, no matter what's going on. Like, there's no reason to get involved with it. Stay out of it. And whatever went on over there, they have every reason to be upset about it. Like, we should never feel like we're ever going to get anything thrown at us on either side. So fans should never be involved. They didn't like the pitch to Tatis. I missed in the first inning and I threw the ball over the middle. I wasn't going to miss over the plate again, but I've got no reason to hit a guy there to start off the sixth, like as good as he's been swinging the bat, but we're down in the game. I'm trying to go in for effect and he didn't get out of the way. It hit him. Didn't try to go and hit him to try to lead off an inning or anything like that. That doesn't really make sense. Didn't go up near his head, nothing, just trying to push a guy off the plate. He didn't get out of the way. And sometimes that happens. They're upset about it. That's part of it. I was fired up after getting Manny out. It was a big spot in the playoffs. That's what happens. Like, I was fired up. Like, oh well. And then he did some in between innings where he decides to throw the ball at our dugout, and everybody kind of catches the tail end of it, which is me and him going at it. But like, I was sitting there for my team. I wasn't sitting there to go at him, but he was throwing the ball at our dugout, and the umpires went over immediately to tell him, like, I don't know what their conversation was, but our dugout was fired up because there ain't no reason for that. Everybody caught the tail end of it. Everybody caught just me and him going at it. Like, Manny's a great player. Like, I understand everybody getting, it's postseason, everybody's fired up. You get upset, like frustrated about pitch hitting Tatis. Like I said, you gotta be able to pitch him in. And I missed in the first inning, and I wasn't gonna miss over the plate again. Just trying to go in for effect. So there was a lot that happened there, but the fans stay out of it. And overall we just gotta play better. But it's sometimes emotions run high in this game, and you just go out and we gotta regroup and go get the next one.
I love the Dodger players, by the way, scolding their own fans. Because Max Muncy did it, and Jack Flaherty did it as well.
Well, thank God they did it post game, because they sure as hell didn't do it during the game.
They didn't do it during the game. I mean, if you watch the broadcast, which I did, they said after the Tatis home run, and then the next time is up, is like, you have to be able to pitch this guy in. If you're not going to pitch this guy in, he will completely unload. He has no fear of anything right now. I think pitching in is completely normal. And I mean, again, they can't get this guy out. The fact that he was hit on the thigh, you're trailing 3-1. It doesn't make really any sense. Again, I don't think it makes any sense. It would be kind of hey, let's hit a guy to lead off an inning trailing to put ourselves in a tougher spot, or I don't understand. What was the point, I guess, in that spot? It's not a 10-0 game.
I will be in the corner of Manny Machado. And if Manny Machado thinks that Flaherty threw at him, then that's my thinking too.
Sure. I mean, or I'll just use my own head in this one, and I'll just say, I'll use my head and say it doesn't make sense in a 3-1 game.
I know. I agree. Yeah. It doesn't make sense. But if Manny Machado is saying it post game,
sure,
then I'm going to side with Manny Machado there. And while I agree, it doesn't make complete sense. Why would you do that? You're down 3-1. Yeah, you can't get the guy out. And yeah, you decided to throw in on him, and then your choice of words post game was he didn't get out of the way. Dude, it was a 95-mile-an-hour two-seamer on the inside. Like, no one can get out of the way of that pitch, especially if you throw it at his inner thigh. It's kind of hard to do that. So if the Padres viewed it as such, then I will say, it kind of is a little fishy.
It might be a little fishy. And of course, the two teams are going to disagree on what transpired. It's like if the Padres hit someone and we then hear Mike Schultz say we're not trying to hit someone, and then the other clubhouse says, well, they did hit him. So, I mean, again, it's who really even at the end of the day, who even cares?
Well, all I know is if I'm a pitcher, that's my excuse for the rest of my career is, I didn't throw out the guy. He just didn't get out of the way. It wasn't my fault.
Yeah, it was a great excuse on Flaherty's part. Now, the whole thing with the Manny throwing the ball in the dugout, I would bet a lot of money that they're overblowing that.
You think?
Because I've seen Manny, toss balls to ball boys before in the other dugout or throw. I mean, he's on the third base side. He's not taking a baseball and chucking 100 miles per hour.
Yeah, like he's turning two.
Of
Yeah,
course not. I mean,
exactly.
listen.
Give me a break. That's
it's
soft.
a lot of he said, she said, back and forth.
That was the one other thing when he kept phrasing it like one of those like Karens that gets caught doing something on tape and it's like, oh well, you should have saw it before they started taping. You just saw the end of the tape. It's just like
It's the person gets pulled over for speeding and then immediately goes, well, the guy over there is speeding. It's like, no, buddy, you are the guy that we caught here, and you're the problem.
I guess at the end of the day, out of all of this, Tatis getting hit had nothing to do with what transpired. I really did it.
No, I think what
like in real time when he got hit, I wasn't
No.
like, oh, that's there goes everything. Now the benches have, I mean, it's not like the benches cleared or warnings were issued or
this
anything.
whole thing started when Flaherty started chirping at Manny after he struck him out.
Correct.
And then he got taken out of the game. He was acting like a little baby. And the biggest hit of the game, you could argue, Merrill getting that single there to bring home the fourth run. Like, you could argue that was the biggest hit of the game because it increased the lead there to 4-1. And after the chirping happened, and then immediately the next inning, you get the Dodgers fans being idiots. That hit by Merrill there isn't talked about enough, I feel like, because of the moment that he was in. And I think there was 2 outs as well. So like
there were 2 outs. Yep.
That hit by Jackson Merrill was such a big moment in the game.
Yeah,
to
it
me.
was. It really was. All right, we'll get to Is That Good? The best and worst of the sports weekend on the other side, plus the wrap coming up at 4 p.m., plus Grant Paulson at MLB Network Radio at 5 p.m. It's Jon and Jim. We'll get to the Rapid 4 p.m. Grant Paulson, MLB Network Radio at 5 p.m. We've got a giveaway for you, 4-pack of tickets to SeaWorld's Hal O'Scream in the 4 o'clock hour. And San Diego Sports 760 has 13 chances for you to win $1,000 every weekday with the inflation vacation. Listen for the nationwide keyword at the top of every hour from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Then enter it at sportssd.com. Let's get to this.
Is that good?
Wilcox, snapper, Huber, holder, from 29 yards away. Oh, he missed it badly. Kick on the way. Boswell. That's a winner.
The good and bad from the sports weekend.
So last night was a must-win game.
Yep.
After Dylan Cease did not have a good start on Saturday, they needed Yu Darvish to have a really good start last night, and boy did he. Went 7 innings, giving up only 3 hits, 1 earned run, struck out 3, walked 2. He held Ohtani hitless last night. Ohtani went over 4 in the game. He was over 3 against Yu Darvish. Brent, is that good?
It is good.
Just
Very
an incredible
good.
outing from him. Incredible.
Very good outing. Also very good. The Padres hit a Major League record 6 home runs on the road. In a Major League playoff team, no team had ever hit 6 home runs as a road team in a Major League Baseball playoff game. Is that good?
It is good.
This actually happened today, but I'm going to put it in the weekend.
Okay.
Jackson Merrill was named a 2024 Hank Aaron Award finalist, which is given out to the best offensive player in both leagues. The best offensive player is nominated from each team. Probably not going to win it because there's this guy, Shohei Ohtani.
Sure.
Aaron Judge in both leagues. But I thought it was interesting that he was nominated instead over like Manny or Profar, that Jackson Merrill, the 21-year-old kid, phenom, having an incredible postseason. Nothing phases this kid. He's the 2024 Hank Aaron finalist for the Padres. Amazing. Brent, is that good?
It is good.
Yeah, I mean, his season has been spectacular. It keeps getting even better now in the postseason. All right, switching to San Diego State for a moment. Edge rusher Trey White leads the nation in sacks. He's actually tied for the nation's lead, but he's played 1 fewer game. He has 9 sacks in 5 games. He's had 8.5 sacks in his last 3 games. He had 3 sacks in the win over Hawaii on Saturday. Is that good?
It is good.
Very good.
Very good. Finally, I'm going to stay with Jackson Merrill. And last night, he became one of the youngest players in baseball history, just actually the 4th youngest player in postseason history with a 3-hit game, including a home run. The other 3 players, John, pretty good list. Andrew Jones, Juan Soto, Carlos Correa. Is that good?
It is good.
4th youngest player to ever have that line in a game. 3 hits, including a home run. It's incredible.
It's amazing. It's just been amazing. Every single time he does something that you're like, how is he doing this? It's happened all year long, including in the postseason. I'll finish with this. Fernando Tatis Jr., this postseason, 4 games. He's hit 643, which is very good. His OPS is 2,151. It would be a major league record. Is that good?
It is good.
Like you said, I mean, he's kind of beating Ohtani at his own game. All the attention on Shohei Ohtani. And it's possible Shohei Ohtani, makes another impact in the series, make no mistake. But Fernando Tatis Jr. through 4 games of the postseason has been simply incredible.
He's been the best player in baseball in the postseason.
Yes.
Like,
it's probably not close.
Nah, I don't think it's close.
Right.
Small sample size.
Yeah,
but
4 games.
What he is doing right now is the stuff that like we all dream of seeing from a Padres player, going out there and just being like, you can't get the guy out.
Mm-hmm.
You can't get the guy out at all. I mean, everything's talked about Ohtani this, Ohtani that, Ohtani this, Ohtani that. Tatis is the one that's the best player right now in this series and in the postseason.
Didn't see him for 3 months. We didn't know what type of impact he'd make on the team in September. We were hoping they'd get him back by early September. He had 7 home runs last month, and then he's done all this already in the postseason, and he's back to being the guy we always hoped he would be. Because we didn't see that in 2022. Nobody saw him. Witness protection, suspended, injured. 2023 was not a good year. Sub 800 OPS. 2024, arguably up until September, was not ideal. He had missed 3 months because of the stress fracture.
Yeah.
And now to rebound in this manner and potentially carry this team even further in the postseason is it's been incredible to watch.
Can I give a bonus? Is that good?
Yeah, do it.
We haven't mentioned his name today at all, and I don't think many people mentioned his name today, but he deserves it, and that's David Peralta.
Homered.
For hitting a 2-run homer there in the game. I mean, kind of one of those like sneak attack home runs, like out of nowhere. Like, wait, what?
Yep.
David Peralta was a huge part of last night's game, hitting that 2-run home run there off Flaherty early on. Brent, is that good?
I'll give you a bonus. Is that good?
Okay.
Kyle Higashioka hit another home run. He's hit 3 in 4 games in the postseason as a number 9 hitter. Is that good? Keeps going back and forth. What else you got?
What else?
We haven't had a negative one yet today.
Let's see here. I have a negative one in my head, but it's actually considered for us a good one.
Okay.
But I'm not going to say it.
No, don't. I know where you're going.
Yeah,
Don't even consider saying it.
I'm not even touching it.
Yeah, don't even consider going there yet.
Give me a negative one. Oh, I got a negative one. The 49ers suck.
49ers suck.
Oh, that's also it's not good.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's no good.
Yeah,
That's what I was waiting for.
there we go.
That's what I was subtly hinting at.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You were shoving. You were like baiting me, like like last
It's a good
night.
thing you had the Padres last night because you pretended like you didn't care, and I know you care.
Care what?
About the Niners losing.
Oh yeah, that was bad. That was very bad, John. I don't want to talk about it because I don't think anybody cares.
Coming up next.
And I don't care.
No, you care.
I care. Yeah, but the longer the season goes on, we'll just continue to reaffirm my thoughts on this year, which was going to be a down year, going to have a lot of injuries.
Are they going to get in?
Have a Super Bowl hangover, 10-7 tops.
They're going to get in at 8 and 9
tops.
Could be that 7 seed in the postseason. All right, we're going to get to the wrap on the other side. We do have Grant Paulson, MLB Network Radio, great voice in all things Major League Baseball. He'll get us up to speed on this Padres-Dodgers series. Game 3 is tomorrow at Petco Park. We're going to broadcast live from the Naughty Barrel, and we're going to do it from 3 to 6 tomorrow and Wednesday. They'll have food and drink specials tomorrow and Wednesday from 4 to 6. Make your way down. Join us, whether you have tickets or not. We'll be there for 3 hours getting you ready, and even if you don't have tickets, you can just enjoy the game from the Naughty Barrel downtown at 9th and Market. We are here tonight until 6 p.m. And coming up in the 4 o'clock hour, your chance to win a 4-pack of tickets to San Diego's largest nighttime Halloween event. It's SeaWorld's Howl O Scream, now through November 2nd. So Grant Paulson joins us at 5. Much more on the series between the Padres and the Dodgers to kick off hour 2 of Jon and Jim. It'll come your way next.
This update's brought to you by ExpressPros.com. Padres and Dodgers all nutted up now at 1 game apiece. Game 3 tomorrow night at Petco Park, 6:08 first pitch. Michael King will be on the mound for the Padres against Walker Buehler for the Dodgers. This one just went final in Cleveland. The Tigers shock the Guardians. They win today 3-0, scoring 3 runs off of Emmanuel Clase to even up that series at 1 game apiece. Later this afternoon, or later tonight, Royals and Yankees, 4:38 first pitch in the Bronx. And the Aztecs got their first conference win of the season on Saturday night. Danny O'Neill had a great game. He was named the Mountain West Conference Freshman of the Week, and Trey White had a great game as well, named the Defensive Player of the Week in the Mountain West Conference. If your supply chain demands a flexible workforce, hire with Express Employment professionals with contract and full workers from Express Employment. You get the staff you need and manage contingent labor costs. Learn more at expresspros.com.
All right, San Diego and Southern California, what's going on? This is hour 2 of Jon and Jim. We are here until 6. Grant Paulson, great voice on Major League Baseball, will join us at 5 p.m. to continue to break down this Padres-Dodgers series that resumes tomorrow night at 6 p.m. inside Petco Park. We also have tickets to give away for SeaWorld's Hallow Scream, and we'll do that coming up this hour. We continue to react to a wild weekend. We didn't even mention Game 1. Because the whole point of the first 2 games, I still think this is the point, was to get one of them. Because you've stolen home field advantage. Of course, you want to win every game you play. And if you're up 2 games to none, that's better than being 1-1. But as bad as Game 1 was, and it felt like they had opportunities to win the game. They're up 3-0. They're up 5-3. As bad as that was, it's like, at this point, you get the second game and you're in good shape.
Doesn't it feel like with everything that played out last night that we just snatched all the momentum away, and now what happened in Game 1 doesn't even matter?
Well, no, I mean... Game 1 does matter.
You know what I mean? It was like after Game 1, I kind of, you felt dejected. It's like, oh, we had multiple leads and we couldn't hang on to it. And then after yesterday, it's just like, oh, did we play Game 1? I didn't even know. I forgot all about it already.
Well, what they did is they got back home field. So 2 of the next 3 are at Petco Park. And you have to win 2 of the next 3. So
exactly
in that sense, then yeah, you take that, and that's the advantage Padres there. Again, the series can go either way, but like we haven't talked about Saturday night because of everything that happened last night. Saturday night, we had a long, lengthy wrap-up show. It was not a good game from a lot of different angles. It was not a good managed game. It was not a good played game defensively, and it wasn't a good pitch game by the Padres. There was a lot of moments in that game that we criticized Mike Schilt for not walking Ohtani with 2 outs in the, I forget what inning it was, maybe the second. You go up 3-0 early on. You threw the first punch, and you gave them the opportunity to throw a counter punch right back, and that could have been completely avoided. And instead, it wasn't. And then walking Mookie with 2 strikes on him. Again, another interesting head scratcher decision, and Dylan Cease just did not pitch well. Manny had that 2-run homer early, but he also made a really costly error, and he struck out with 2 on in the 9th. They just didn't play good defense. They didn't pitch well. And Mike Schilt, I think, maybe had one of his worst games managing of the season. But luckily, they backed it up with arguably their best game played all year long.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, if you told any reasonable Padre fan you're getting home 1-1, you're going to take it no matter how you get it, whether it's with Game 1 or Game 2 or fortune or luck or long ball or drama free. And now, can you win 2 of 3? Now, if it were to go 5 games, and I could easily make a case that the Padres are positioned with Michael King to hopefully go up 2-1, but we'll see. If it were to go 5 games, I think everything's changed. You had Dylan Cease Game 1. I'd be surprised if this is a 5-game series and Dylan Cease started the 5th game based on what I saw from you, Darvish, and taking advantage of the off days today and Thursday. Darvish can pitch on 4 days rest on Friday if necessary. Now we're getting ahead of ourselves, but it's not inconceivable to see this series going 5 games. And if it does go 5 games, I would be surprised if it wasn't you, Darvish. Now, I don't know what they're going to do in game 4 with the 2-1 lead or with the 2-1 deficit, but we're going to see that play out at some point in the next 48 hours as well, no matter what happens tomorrow.
Well, can you take the momentum that you got last night? Can you parlay that into winning game 3? Now you have the perfect guy on the mound for that.
Perfect.
Like the adage in baseball, you're only as good as your next day starter. I mean, this rings true here. Michael King is your next day starter.
Right.
And you'll absolutely take that 100% of the time. I feel like this team, the life that they got yesterday from all the shenanigans and all the BS that happened with the stupid fans and the Flaherty chirping at Machado, kind of is like not what they needed, but it's something that they'll absolutely take. They're sitting there saying to themselves,
"You gave us this?
Are you serious right now? Like you must have not seen us this year when we've been in these types of moments." And by the way, one of these moments was against you guys when you popped off at Profar. And what did Profar do against you? Own you guys for the next couple games.
Right. As much as I'd love to see the Padres win a 5-game series in front of Dodger fans at Dodger Stadium, I'd much prefer for them to win a 5-game series by winning games 3 and 4 at Petco Park.
Yeah.
And again, I can't guarantee that that's going to happen. And I don't know what the odds are of them winning each of the next 2 games. But they've put themselves in a position where hopefully they don't even have to go back to Los Angeles. That's got to be the message. That's got to be the goal. And right now it's about winning game 3 behind Michael King. And again, if I'm Walker Buehler and I'm thinking about this Padres lineup and navigating it, like that's not an easy assignment. And dealing with the crowd, we saw how it impacted Atlanta. They had younger starters than Walker Buehler, but Buehler didn't have a good year and Michael King did. So listen, it's baseball. Things happen. There's no such thing as the Dodgers being out of a series that's 1-1. That's utter stupidity. But I do think, considering everything, I'd much prefer the spot the Padres are in to the spot that the Dodgers are in. I'm going to continue to say that. If I look foolish about it, okay, but I'd still prefer to be the Padres than the Dodgers.
We know that Petco is going to be absolutely insane tomorrow night,
definitely.
Wednesday night. Like we already knew that going in before the series started. We knew game 3, and if there was a game 4, it'd be electric at Petco.
Yeah.
Don't you feel like with what happened last night, especially with what the fans did there, has taken this to another level?
Yes, I do completely. I think this is really going from, like, again, maybe a one-way rivalry to really, I mean, it is a true rivalry. I'm not saying it's the Dodgers' only rival. That's stupid. But it's become a rivalry 2020, 2022, 2024. It's intriguing. I mean, I'm not the only one saying it. Google Padres Dodgers. You'll get articles about it being a rivalry. It's just good drama, good baseball. It's fascinating. I think it'll be more ratcheted up than it was even a couple of years ago.
Yeah. And just quick PSA for all Padres fans tomorrow night. We all trust you, but don't stoop to the level of the Dodgers fans. Don't stoop to that level. All right. They have no shame to go that low. Don't go that low. Right. Just go out there. You can heckle. I'm all cool with heckling. I've always been cool with heckling, and there's always been heckling, but there's also a line you don't cross, and just don't cross that line. Heckle, but don't cross the line. But don't cross the line of throwing stuff on the field at players. Don't stoop to the Dodger fans level. They can sit over in the corner and wear the dunce cap for being morons and just literally the worst. Tomorrow and Wednesday, like, you're going to show out. We all know that. But just don't stoop to that level.
The thing is, I can't guarantee there are Dodger fans in the building that stoop to that level, and it's hard to control 50,000 people. I'm with you. I 100% agree with that. What I want to see at the end of game 3 is the Padres having won it, no matter how it transpires. If it gets weird, it gets weird. If there's a streaker on the field, again, I wouldn't encourage it, but like, no matter what happens in the periphery with the crowd, if there's fights, if there's back and forth, if there's jawing, none of it matters. Nobody would ever remember the 2022 postseason based on jawing. You remember Jake Cronenworth coming through. You don't remember the 2020 series against the Dodgers because of Bruce Dark Gratterall. You remember because the Dodgers swept the Padres. I mean, what matters is the end result, and hopefully they can get the end result. Of course, nobody wants to see baseballs thrown on field or trash thrown on field. That goes without saying. Yeah. So hopefully we won't see it. But if it does happen, win regardless. If it does happen, win either way, if it happens or not.
And even though they're the worst, it has taken this rivalry and series to another level.
Sure.
Like I can't remember a time that there's been so many just like petty troll. And and by the way, I love the petty troll. I am one myself. I can't remember a time where I've seen multiple players on a team just trolling the hell out of an opposing fan base the way that Profar and Tatis did last night. Tatis was in the dugout like
wagging his tongue,
like chirping at fans, dude, like clapping, calling people out, wagging his tongue. Like
it was amazing.
It was incredible to watch. And then Profar doing the antics in left field, which I absolutely love because it's all in fun and games. There's no harm there whatsoever. Dodger fans took it to another level, and there's no harm there. I love it because it takes it to a place that really makes a rivalry a true rivalry, in my opinion.
The amazing thing is some athletes don't feed off it like Fernando Tatis Jr. and Jurickson Profar feed off it. They love this. Like the Dodgers can't try to imitate the Padres because that's not the way they're built. Shohei Ohtani's not going to be wagging his tongue and dancing around and riling up the crowd. If he does, he's now become someone that he isn't. What Fernando Tatis Jr. and Jurickson Profar did last night was play into more of themselves. Yeah. If Freddie Freeman and Shohei Ohtani try to do it, they're going to look foolish and idiotic.
They baited all of those loser fans, and guess what? They took the bait.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what happened.
They took the bait, and they stooped down low to where they live, and they showed their true colors as Dodger fans, most Dodger fans do. It's not all Dodger fans, but it's most Dodger fans that are at that level of being the worst. And it's just so funny to me how this whole thing last night played right into the Padres' hand.
Yeah, it's like you can, to your point, they got baited. And then here's the other thing. It's utterly amazing to watch a postseason game. And because the Padres have essentially won, it's like 4-1 in the seventh inning, that's 6-1 in the eighth inning. There's nobody there. They even said, I think, in the broadcast, and I saw on social media, and we weren't there. I think that somebody said in the eighth inning, it was roughly a third full. A third full. You saw the traffic exiting Dodger Stadium. We've seen that now multiple times in the last few years. And I said the other night, I'm watching Padres games when they weren't going well in June. They're 39-40. They're down 4-0 to the Rockies. The place is filled, and everyone's wearing like Ha-Sung Kim caps around the ballpark.
Yeah, pretty much once they went down 6-1.
Everyone left.
All got up and left.
Yeah, once that Bogey's 2-run homer.
I don't even remember.
Yeah, I think it was
so
Bogey's.
many.
Yeah.
Bogey's on a bum leg.
Right.
He said today that it was just cramps, and hopefully he's going to be okay. Like hamstring cramps. And that's a big sigh of relief because Bogarts has quietly had a really good series in the first two games. He's had, Saturday night, he had that 2-run, I think it was 2-run single, 2-run double down the line. I forget what it was, but it was a 2-run hit. And then last night, the home run. He's had a really good series so far, and they need him out there for sure. So hopefully it's just cramps, get some IVs, be ready to go for tomorrow night.
All right, we're going to hear from Manny Machado on the other side. He is in the clubhouse right now speaking with the media, and Michael King has also been asked about how he's going to pitch to Shohei Ohtani tomorrow in Game 3 of this best-of-5 series. We're going to get to the wrap still ahead. We've got those tickets to give away to Hallow Scream at SeaWorld, and Grant Paulson will join us at 5 p.m. from MLB Network Radio. It's Jon and Jim. All right, hey guys, it is Jon and Jim, and this month is the best month to get to Jamul Casino with all the Major League Baseball postseason action, of course, the NFL season, and they've got great promotions on Monday nights like tonight. They're calling it Monday Night Live, Smashing Pumpkins with opportunities to once again win big.
They can earn entries all month long by playing and getting two-time entries on Tuesdays with at least $500 in cash for all winners and a chance to win up to $25,000 in cash. This is a promotion that you will not want to miss.
So you can catch all the playoff and football action at Tony Gwynn Sports Pub. Experience the ultimate sports showdown. Catch the MLB playoffs and football games live, plus savory bites at Tony Gwynn Sports Pub, where fandom meets fantastic.
Yeah, you can join them for their Thursday drawings and a guaranteed $30,000 in cash prizes. You can earn entries daily at your chance to for your chance to win. Plus, you can stay for the excitement of Latin night afterwards. Jamul Casino. It's fun above all else.
San Diego Sports 760 is giving you a chance all week to win a 4-pack of tickets to San Diego's largest nighttime Halloween event, SeaWorld's Hollow Scream, going on now through November 2nd. 5 terror-filled houses, new scare zones and haunts, and death-defying drops with rides after dark, themed food and bars, and the master of ceremonies when all the creatures get released. A night you won't dare venture alone. For more info, SeaWorldSanDiego.com. Did you be scared of that? SeaWorld San Diego Halloween
I remember you're going to go last year.
Right. That's exactly right.
Have you been to the
I've never been to a Halloween.
the one in Balboa? Really good. Went last year.
Yeah, where's the like live actors in that?
And that I think it's scared, but that one is like really well.
Let's hear from Manny Machado. We have this Manny Machado in the clubhouse this afternoon discussing when he decided to call that in-game meeting, talking about Michael King and more. Here's Manny Machado with the media a few moments ago.
The mid-game meeting that you called in the dugout, when did that hit your brain? This is something I should do. Just immediately before that?
Honestly, I have no idea. Just came out and just trying to rally up the boys and get the guys going. It's a tough game. Game was far from over, and we have to continue to go out there and get 6 more outs, I believe it was. Yeah. So yeah.
Manny, how do you feel like you've grown since you signed with the Padres as a leader and step it up every single year and obviously leading the guys? They responded with four runs after you spoke to them.
Yeah, I mean, everyone knows what the task at hand is here, and we're focused on that, and we're going to continue to do that every single day. They've shown it all year. This team has been resilient all year, man. They've been fighting and coming back from a lot of things and dealing with adversity, dealing with injuries, and guys have stepped up in big situations. 1 through 40. So we got to continue doing that.
How good has Michael King been lately?
It's been pretty good for us. Game on the line. Let's come back home. I don't think would rather have anybody on the mound, but have Michael on there for us.
Coming out of a dramatic and emotional win like last night, what's the mentality now as far as turning the page and facing tomorrow?
Honestly, I haven't really thought that far ahead. Just trying to get out here, get us going today. Kind of just get the body moving, and hopefully start game planning a little bit here for the matchup tomorrow, which is Buehler, and how we're gonna go out there and try to compete and try to beat them.
And finally, your thoughts on Fernando and how he's performing in this postseason, 9 of 14, no strikeouts, and showing his personality.
He's been on fire, man. He's been on fire. He's been carrying this team, since this is a business series. And, it's been great having him. We all know what he was capable of, and, he doesn't, seem to shy away from anything. So, for us to get to where we want to get to, he's a big part of that.
From June 19th on,
The Phillies game,
Manny Machado has been exceptional.
What he hit to finish the season from June 19th?
Just exceptional. I don't have the numbers in front of me. I'm just that's the day
right
that his season turned around.
Oh yeah.
And you could argue that's the day that the Padres season turned around as well.
Yeah, they were in the midst of a 5-game losing streak, right?
And really into the offseason, heading into this year as well. I think there was a concern, there was an effort from the entire club that last year can't happen again. That had to be a one-off. And then with all of the moves in the offseason and the passing of Peter, playing for something more than themselves. But June 19th to me is the start of this magical Padres run. And truly, I think the start of a shift maybe in Manny and his entire game and his clubhouse leadership. He's always been a leader by example, but I think he's taken it to another level from that moment on this season. And the dugout huddle last night, it just kind of gives you chills if you're a Padres fan watching that. It wasn't Mike Schilt. It wasn't like Luis Ariz. It was Manny or Fernando Tatis Jr. It was Manny Machado. He was exuding leadership in that moment. And the best part about it was they all responded. That to me shows that this team knows who their leader is, and they're going to go to battle for him. And they absolutely did that after that meeting.
It's a remarkable shift from what is this high school baseball that he told Kevin Acee 1 year ago. From June 19th on, he hit 298. He hit 23 home runs. He drove in 72 from June 19th on. It was 904, which again, Manny's really humming. He's going to sit in that low 900 OPS, just constantly putting pressure on the opposition. He has truly been brilliant. And the way he's doing the postseason right now, it's not like he's Tatis. No, I'm not, but he's making some meaningful plays defensively. In there in game one, he's had some meaningful moments. And to your point, he is typically a leader by example, but not last night. That's not example. The example is, hey, rally around me, forget about the outside noise. Let's finish off these final 6 right now. That's well beyond leading by example when you speak up the manner in which you do.
In the following inning, he goes out there, gets a little blue single to center.
Yep.
And then Jackson Merrill is 2 home. And you're like, okay. I mean, that's just an exclamation point on last night's game. And then they poured it on, just continuing to hit home run after home run. Higgy hits a homer. Toddy hits another 2-run homer opposite field. He's wagging his tongue in the dugout. The entire team is going crazy in the dugout. I just thought that, if this team happens to win a World Series, long way to go.
Yeah, it'd be nice if
long,
they did.
Long way to go. Like, honestly, that dugout huddle might be the start of the DVD. Like, that might be close to the start of the highlight reel from that moment if they can rip off a World Series here.
There's a lot of starts to that DVD, man.
I
I could
know
have
there
25 choose your own adventures. I could have June 19th, him talking to Kevin Acey saying, I'll do it if it even means my arm falls off. I could have the 8-0 comeback in April. I could have Mr. Irrelevant. I could have a million. I could have the triple play to clinch a playoff spot.
Nothing fires me up as a baseball fan watching this Padres team and what transpired after that dugout huddle with Manny. And it's the response. It's like going out there and turning your words and making it become a reality. Staying together. Like, I do think part of that dugout huddle had to do with, look, we still have a mission. Focus. We need to win this game. Don't let the distraction of the idiot Dodger fans get in your head. Don't let the distraction of stupid Jack Flaherty get in our head. We're here to do a job. We're here to win. They went out and responded 6 runs and 2 innings and 4 more homers.
And they do it again. Does the day off benefit anyone or not? And can the Padres again just double down on what transpired last night at Dodger Stadium? We'll hear from Michael King on the other side, his thoughts on the Padres' approach to facing Shohei Ohtani as opposed to just putting him on. We still have the wrap to get to, plus the Saturday screen. All right, guys, it is Jon and Jim, and October is where baseball legends are born. As we've been discussing, take your shot at greatness by playing Underdog's Pick'em game. Making picks on Underdog is straightforward, and signing up is even easier. Win up to 1,000 times your money just by choosing higher or lower on your favorite player stats like strikeouts or home runs.
Yeah, just head over to Underdog's simple-to-use mobile app or UnderdogFantasy.com. Sign up with promo code Jon and Jim, JONANDJIM. And Underdog will give you a free pick to use on your first cash pick'em entry, plus up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you deposit. Fernando Tatis Jr. has been very kind to me this postseason. Higher or lower on Fernando Tatis Jr. stats? Probably going to take mostly higher.
Take higher on 3.5 home runs for game 3 for Tatis.
Sure.
Go to their mobile app or to UnderdogFantasy.com. Sign up with promo code Jon and Jim. That's Underdog Fantasy, promo code JONANDJIM to claim your new customer special of a free pick and your deposit offer.
Must be 18 years or older and present in the state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms to apply. Concern with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. All right, this update's brought to you by expresspros.com. Padres and Dodgers game 3 tomorrow night at Petco Park. Michael King on the mound against Walker Buehler as the series is tied at 1 game apiece. Moving over to scores in the postseason today, it's a final. The Tigers beat the Cleveland Guardians 3-0, scoring 3 runs in the top of the 9th inning off Emmanuel Clase, one of the best closers, if not the best closer in all of baseball. That series is now tied at 1 game apiece, heading back to Detroit. And the Yankees and Royals are moments from getting underway in the Bronx. Yankees hold a 1-0 series lead there. If your supply chain demands a flexible workforce, hire with Express Employment professionals with contract and full-time workers from Express Employment. You get the staff you need and manage contingent labor costs. Learn more at expresspros.com.
All right, you can hit us up on the Talkback mic. Just open the free iHeartRadio app. Listen to San Diego Sports 760. Tap that little microphone icon next to the play button to leave a 30-second Talkback. And before it's connected with Brett Paulson, MLB Network Radio at 5 p.m. Much more on the series and Major League Baseball's postseason. We will get to the wrap after we hear from Michael King. So let's hear from Michael King. What do you got, Brett?
You know how last week we were kind of not... we were bitching about the Dodgers play-by-play guy getting to be the
Joe Davis,
Joe Davis getting to do the TV call.
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't we get Bob Costas and Ron Darling and then have the Dodgers guy go and do the Yankees series so there's not like a conflict of interest?
Because the Yankees series is on TBS and Joe Davis does Fox games.
Oh,
that's one answer. Now you could also ask yourself, well, why did Joe Davis get on this series, not the other NL series? And the answer would be because Fox thinks this series is a better series.
Correct.
Okay. I was just like, there was other places in games he could have done instead of doing his own team.
There's been a lot of reaction to the broadcast. I mean, a lot of reactions to the broadcast.
Saturday was awful. Sunday,
it was obviously better,
but it still was bad, and
they sounded sad about how it was
so
on
sad.
Sunday.
Every time the Padres added on, it was like,
oh
man.
And how about I love the line from Smoltz last night, and I'm paraphrasing, where he essentially said, well, the Dodgers would prefer to lose this way because it's not going to be heartbreaking and they're not using their high leverage relievers. I'm like, let me get this straight. You're going to play at home.
No.
And you're going to prefer to get blown out and embarrassed and trolled in front of your home. This is preferable result. No, stop.
Yeah.
No, you can't sell me on any of this.
That's kind of like the worst way to lose, in my opinion.
It was bad.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't good.
You got trolled. You lost your temper.
And you got blown out.
Your asses kicked.
You just got blown out. All right, here's Michael King this afternoon speaking with the media on what it says about the Padres pitching staff that they've gone after Shohei Ohtani so far in this series.
Mike, I had a quick question. I think after game 1, there was a lot of narrative surrounding just walking Ohtani at that point. But what does it say about the starting pitchers to go after a guy like that and to take pride and to obviously have success in game 2?
Yeah, I think it's a confidence booster for not only the pitcher, but also the team. I think that all of our stuff, when executed, plays against any hitter. Obviously, Ohtani's probably the best in the game. But it's that competing factor. And they still have Mookie and Freddie and Teoscar behind them. So, yes, you don't want Ohtani to be the guy that beats you, but you also have to be able to execute because you don't want to have to face those 3 guys with him on base, especially with the speed that he has. So it's a game that needs to be played, but I also think it's a confidence booster to be able to get a guy like that out.
All right, so do what they've been doing, which again, yesterday Ohtani was hitless. Game 1, he had a huge impact on the result.
That as Brent said, it's only his only hit of the series so far. No, sorry, he has had 2
hits.
hits.
2.
The other one was a bloop single to center. Broke his bat.
I think he's 2 for 9.
2 for 9 in the series. He's had 1 ball that he absolutely crushed.
Completely.
Homer.
Completely.
A hanger right over the plate.
He looked kind of human last night. I think another big part of this series within a series type of stuff that's going on is so far he's 0 for 3 against the combination of Scott and Adam.
Right. Exactly.
That to me is big. Now you could also look at it from the other standpoint of like, well, he's seen now Tanner Scott and Jason Adam 3 times collectively now, and maybe that helps him going forward. But I would say that in the 3 at bats against those 2 guys, he's not looked good.
This is what I would say. It's a mirage if you think from the Padres' perspective you have him figured out.
Yeah,
You still have to have separate rules for him. I'm not saying move heaven and earth. They do not have to walk the leadoff batter to start the game at Shohei Ohtani. He doesn't have to be, he doesn't have to draw 5 intentional walks tomorrow. That's going too far. But there are a number of circumstances where I would and they should walk Shohei Ohtani where you wouldn't do the same to another hitter in their lineup. And they do have a good lineup even beyond Shohei Ohtani. You just got to be careful not to think that you've got it all figured out when this guy's doing things that can't be figured out, truthfully.
Right. You still have to treat him
like he's different.
Like the guy that the last 13 games minus last night was hitting 568 or some crazy number like that. In a 13-game hitting streak. His 13-game hitting streak dating back to the regular season got ended last night, mostly because Yu Darvish was effing incredible.
He was 0 for 3 off Darvish, I think.
0 for 3 off Darvish. Darvish, I just can't say enough good things about Yu Darvish last night. He did such a good job, and there were plays behind him defensively that for sure helped him out. But all in all, the delay coming back after the delay because the stupid Dodger fans decided to throw baseballs on the field, which I was sitting there thinking to myself, I don't know about you, John. I was like, this is ridiculous from the standpoint of this is hurting the Padres because of these idiot fans. And there's no repercussion other than maybe throwing them out. But it's like Darvish is just sitting there.
Yeah, that's why I actually think he did his best work in the 7th inning. It's still a game. It's 4-1.
And he walks the first batter,
and he walks Teoscar Hernandez and gets out of the inning unscathed. He goes over 100 pitches for the game. And by the way, look at the career numbers of Ohtani, Betts, Freeman off Darvish. Another reason why, if this series is extended out, he's just going to have to be out there. He's pitched in big games before. He's 38 years of age. He's made a living in the postseason, and he's done well against the Dodgers specifically in his career and those 3. The more you see of Yu Darvish in the series is not a bad thing.
Well, it sets up perfectly to have Darvish pitch game 5. You're not sitting there saying he's going to be on short rest. He's on regular rest going into game 5. And that's the off day on Thursday is so big in this series. And if it goes 5, it's going to be interesting to see who the Dodgers go with, because Yamamoto and Flaherty got lit up. And I wouldn't expect anything to really change.
It's a good point,
to be honest.
I mean, and again, honestly, from as we sit here right now, I mean, I don't even want to think about game 5, and maybe it's false hope, but I'm like, they're fully capable of winning the next 2 games. And that can change quick.
Who, Dodgers?
Padres.
Oh, Padres, yeah.
I mean, they're fully capable of doing what they did in 2022. They're a favorite in game 3, and I don't know about game 4. We'll see. But if it does go 5, then if you're the Dodgers, maybe it's just pick a name out of a hat.
Well, it starts with tomorrow night. I don't think the Dodgers are going to lay down like dogs here. I think that they're going to have some fight, but it sets up for you to match with your best out there with Michael King. Tomorrow's going to be epic. Wednesday will be epic either way. If the Padres are up 2-1 or if the Dodgers are up 2-1.
More epic if you're up. Because
Way
I think
more
if you
epic,
go down 2-1, you are asking for
trouble.
Well, you're asking for trouble because you have who even knows you're doing 3 days rest, Cease or Martin Perez or bullpen day. And then C, you're asking for Dodger fans to be in the building. If you go down 2 games to 1, because I don't know if you're asking for it in a series that's tied after what happened yesterday. And it's going to be all Padres fans like it was in 2022. But we didn't see in 2022 the Dodgers have a chance to clinch a series.
Yeah.
And I think if they go up 2 games to 1, then you're going to see a lot more Dodger fans in the building on Wednesday. I really believe that.
Well, win tomorrow night, and you don't have to do anything about that.
That's exactly right. Just win tomorrow. It's so easy.
It's so easy.
This is the simplest thing ever. Just outscore the Dodgers in the next 2 games, and then you win that series. Then outscore the next team in 4 games, and then do it in the world. This is so simple.
Yeah, job's not finished, though. Job's not finished, even though last night was fun as hell. Might have been my favorite game of the season, and there's been 50 favorite games.
I think it's my favorite game of the season, considering everything that was on the line.
Yeah, it was a must-win game.
It might change tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, imagine coming in here today. We're talking on the wrap-up show last night, down 0-2.
Series over. I would have said series over.
Devastating, yeah.
No, I don't know if it really would have been over, but I would have said series over.
It's never over until it's over, John.
Yeah, and now I don't feel, honestly, but I still feel like, and we'll talk about in the wrap of the 5 o'clock hour, not that we have it in here this exact way, Game 3 is as close to a must-win as Game 2 against Atlanta was a must-win because of the Game 4 pitching situation.
Yep, for both teams.
So it's like as good as as good as it is right now, you're right for both teams. But from a Padres perspective, as good as it is right now, if you lose game 3, I would hate that because of where you are in game 4 with your rotation. There's no Joe Musgrove waiting.
I like the matchup tomorrow night. I think with a red hot Fernando Tatis Jr. going into tomorrow night against Walker Buehler, who he's hit 4 home runs off of. Michael King coming off of the best start of his entire career on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not expecting him to go 7, strike out 12, walk 0, give up 0. But I have all the confidence in the world in him that tomorrow night he'll go out and give you a damn good outing. And I think that this offense is set up very well, the top part of the lineup.
I agree.
To do some damage off their starters, because so far in this postseason, John, off of starting pitching, Atlanta, the Dodgers, they have teed off.
They really have. And I would say this, the top of the first inning is critical because the Padres score in the top of the first inning, and each of the first 2 games at Dodger Stadium don't allow LA to return that favor tomorrow at Petco Park and quiet that crowd potentially as well. All right, on the other side, let's get to trivia. We call it Trainwreck Radio. Who wants a 4-pack of tickets to SeaWorld's Howl O Scream? It's going on now through November 2nd. If you want a 4-pack of tickets, call 877-767-4760. First 2 callers will be contestants for trivia. We call it Trainwreck Radio. 4-pack of tickets to San Diego's largest nighttime Halloween event, SeaWorld's Howl O Scream, now through November 2nd. Again, the number to call, 877-767-4760. Call right now, 877-767-4760. That's next. All right, Grant Paulson, MLB Network Radio, his thoughts on this Padres-Dodgers series. Time the game of peace. Headed to San Diego tomorrow night at 6 p.m. We'll be Donnie Barrel downtown. Join us. We're there on air from 3 to 6, happy hour from 4 to 6. We're there both Tuesday and Wednesday. So Grant Paulson in 10 minutes right now. Let's play.
All right, 3 questions, 2 contestants, 1 lifeline. Today's 2 contestants, we have Bryson and we have Brandon. Bryson, you called in first. So you have your choice of John or Jim. Who do you want to go with?
Let's go with John.
All right, so John and Bryson.
John and Bryson. Brandon, you get Jim, okay?
Sounds good.
All right, buddy. Brent, what's the question of the day?
All right, guys. Walker Buehler, who is going to pitch for the Dodgers tomorrow, is currently 19th all-time in postseason strikeouts with 101. Today's question, name anybody else that's in the top 10 for strikeouts in postseason history. So we're looking for pitchers with the most strikeouts in postseason history.
All right. Brandon, you're up first. What is your first guess? You do have a lifeline if you want to use it.
Let's go with Pedro Martinez.
Pedro Martinez. Like that guess. I like it. I like it.
Is he on the list,
I hope I
though?
like it. I don't like it. I actually hate that guess. It's a bad
not a great guess.
Bryson, up to you. What's your first guess? And you do have a lifeline if you want to use it.
Let's go with Mad Max Scherzer.
That's a good guess, right?
Scherzer, good guess. Very good guess. Very good. Very good guess. Very good. Brandon, back to you. What's your second guess? You do have a lifeline if you want to use it.
But Roger Clemens.
Roger Clemens.
Sounds good.
Yeah, that's a good guess. Yeah, there we go. Bryson, you're up next. What's your second guess? You do have a lifeline if you want
One
to
of the worst TV announcers in the world. Let's go with John Smoltz.
Yes.
Top 10.
John Smoltz sucks. Yes.
Wow. Okay. Smoltzy.
Brandon, back to you. What is your final guess? You do have a lifeline if you want to use it.
Let's go with Clayton Kershaw.
Clayton Kershaw,
Clayton
top
Kershaw,
10.
top 10. He sucks, but he's top 10. He always chokes in the postseason, but he's top 10. Bryson, you could win it here with a walk-off. Final guess. You do have a lifeline if you want to use it.
I'll humor John.
Okay.
And go with the lifeline.
This is over, Justin Verlander. Just say yes.
Yeah. That was my guess. So I'm glad we agree.
We win. Yay. I don't need the music. Justin Verlander, who, if he's not number 1, is number 1, right? Is he, Brent, number 1?
He's not number 1. He's number 1.
He's number 1.
Yeah, he has to be. Okay, how many strikeouts in the career for Justin Verlander?
244.
Wow. It's a season's worth of strikeouts, right?
In 38 games.
Yes, John.
Yeah.
That's a season's worth.
I mean,
plus.
for a really, good pitcher, it's a season's worth of strikeouts.
That's like a Cy Young Award
today. Yeah, you're right. All right, who's on this list, Brett?
All right, Verlander's 1, Kershaw's 2, Smoltz is 3, Andy Pettit is 4, the Rocket is 5, Scherzer was 6, Mike Mussina is 7, Glavine was 8, Garrett Cole is number 9, and Mr. Can't Throw It to First Base, John Lester is number 10.
Oh, yeah. Okay, good list. Very good list. Michael King's going to be on that list after tomorrow night, potentially with 89 strikeouts.
Well, he has 12 already under his belt.
Pedro is 23rd, by the way. He only had 96.
23rd. But
my
before
guess,
the expanded postseason.
My guess was going to be Andy Pettit.
And he was on there.
Yeah, because I was thinking like Verlander's the easy one.
Mm-hmm.
Pettit, maybe not that easy, even though he's pitched in a million postseason games.
Was Chris Paddock on the list from that game, whatever year that was?
Zach Davies on the list?
Right, exactly. All right, Grant Paulson, MLB Network Radio. We have not gotten to the wrap. We'll do that in the 5 o'clock hour. We do have Jim's back page. So what we're giving away for our winner today, which was Bryson, by the way, you've won a 4-pack of tickets to San Diego's largest nighttime Halloween event. SeaWorld's Howl-O-Scream now through November 2nd. 5 terror-filled houses, new scare zones and haunts, and death-defying drops with Rides After Dark. Themed food and bars and the Master of Ceremonies when all creatures get released. A night you won't dare venture alone. For more information, visit SeaWorldSanDiego.com. That is SeaWorldSanDiego.com. So let's see, where are we right now in the postseason before we break? We've got a 1-1 series between the Phillies and the Mets. You've got an even series, obviously, coming back here to Petco. You've got Cleveland and Detroit tied at 1. And now you've got Kansas City and New York underway in game 2. Is this game scoreless? I think in the first inning, maybe scoreless. Yankees and Royals.
Scoreless. Yankees had an opportunity with 2 on and
nobody out too. But if the Royals win tonight, you have 4 series that are even at a game apiece.
That'd be great for baseball. I think it already is great for baseball. The Mets series it's been bonkers.
It's been really
Phillies.
good.
I mean, the other day, it's like the Mets will not die.
They won't. And they also are giving teams like Philadelphia opportunities.
Yeah.
Even like Milwaukee in game 2 and now the Phillies in game 2.
I'm shocked that nothing happened yesterday as far as like natural disasters or someone famous passing
Because
away.
Castellanos?
Because of Nick Castellanos' game-winning RBI yesterday and his home run as well.
Good point. Good
like,
point.
wait, what? Double whammy? Nothing happened? Everything's okay?
Grant Paulson, MLB Network Radio. He'll join us on the other side with a preview of Game 3 of the Padres and the Dodgers. Hour 3, Jon and Jim next.
All right, this update is brought to you by ExpressPros.com. Padres, Dodgers, all tied up in the series at 1 game apiece. Game 3 tomorrow night at Petco Park. Michael King on the mound for the Padres against Walker Buehler for the Dodgers. Score update in the postseason in the American League. Tigers beat the Guardians today 3-0, scoring 3 runs off of the best closer in baseball, Emmanuel Clase, to even that series up at 1 game apiece. And Yankees-Royals are underway in the Bronx. Still scoreless as we head to the bottom of the second inning there. If your supply chain demands a flexible workforce, hire with Express Employment Professionals with contract and full-time workers from Express Employment. You get the staff you need and manage contingent labor costs. Learn more at expresspros.com. That's expresspros.com.
All right, San Diego and Southern California, what's going on? Final hour of Jon and Jim. We are 25 hours out. Game 3, Padres-Dodgers will be downtown at the Naughty Barrel tomorrow from 3 to 6. We have Grant Paulson at MLB Network Radio with us right now. Jim, what do you have, Jim?
I was going to say, where's the Ohtani graphic to say we're 25 hours out from his first at bat?
Let's talk to Grant about this. I mean, I think, and I'd love to get Grant's opinion on this, covering baseball from a national perspective. I feel like all the spiciness and the bitterness and the back and forth between the Padres and Dodgers over the years, like the last 4 or 5 seasons, they met in the postseason now 3 of the last 5 years. I just feel like it's been great for baseball. Grant, how's it from your seat? Just watching the back and forth and how this is all playing out. How do you see the Padres-Dodgers dynamic? And thanks for hopping on.
No, my pleasure, fellas. It's the best. I mean, the tension is incredible. They're 2 really good teams. So, I mean, frankly, if 2 bad teams didn't like each other, there was good quality drama between them, who cares? I mean, the tree falling in the woods. But these are powerhouses within the division in the West, within the National League. You've got a Dodgers team that is perennially, based on their payroll and their offseason activity, expected to be a World Series contender. You've got one of the most aggressive front offices and organizations in the sport, and keeping up with the Benjamins by way of player development and the grooming and developing in their own system and the trades that they make. The Padres very much right there with them. And the fact that there's actual legitimate bad blood, that they don't like each other pretty clearly, that it's must-see TV. I think it's just so fun. I mean, the troll job that Profar did in the outfield, where basically they might as well have just stopped the game to be like, "Oh, what's behind your ear, buddy?" And like, it was incredible. So I just, it's the best. I love it. I wish these 2 teams would play a 15-game series every year.
Yeah, we do too. It was just incredible last night. Grant, you're very well aware of what happened earlier this season when the opposing team started chirping at the Padres in the Nationals series. And we know how that turned out. It seemed like the Padres went to a second gear. Last night with Jack Flaherty chirping and then the fans, doesn't it feel like, kind of wrong team to do that to with the Padres, especially what happened after that?
So I think so. I would say yes to that. I mean, the Nats, to be clear, still haven't beaten San Diego this season, right? After what happened between those 2 teams. Although I would say, I don't know if it's because they got chirped in that case or, even yesterday, they're good, period. So their record's going to be good in 1:00 games and in night games and in road games and on turf, right? It doesn't really matter if they get chirped or not. I mean, this is the best team in the sport over the last 60 games or so. But I don't know if the metric matters, but I certainly don't think with a team like the Padres that is so fueled by personality and emotion, and they seem to kind of play on that line of aggression and what is and is not, quote unquote, accepted with the unwritten rules in baseball. And it's just fun for people like me and young people who enjoy the game as a source of entertainment. But the old guard doesn't love it. I think with a team like that, there's no reason to rattle them or to kind of give them any more motivation. They do seem to be fueled by it. Machado and pre-Padres, I mean, I followed and covered him when he was with the Orioles. Like his whole career, he's been a spark plug in the middle of everything, a little bit of a hothead type player, right? Obviously, Tatis is a big time showboat celebrator type. I like it. A lot of people don't necessarily. But Profar this year, I think, has kind of found his own gear and his own personality within this clubhouse where he's a ringleader of sorts. So they're not for everybody. You know what I mean? Like it's the ultimate team of when they're your guys, it's so fun. I happen to just be a innocent kind of third-party bystander here, and I can root for and love the Padres too. But if you're a Dodgers fan, I mean, it's insufferable. And I just think that's what's so fun about it. It's an amazing rivalry. And I'm sure there are Dodgers players and moments that Padres fans would think the same thing about. But I do think it's great for the game. I think it is must-see television. And, oh, by the way, the Padres who I've got going to go into the World Series, I think it brings out the best in them, to your point, to give them that extra motivation.
I think there were a couple of moments in 2020 in the postseason. Joe Kelly blowing a kiss to the Padres dugout. Bruce Gratterall was animated after a catch.
Oh, they're not victims. Let's get it straight. I mean, they're
right. Turnaround's fair play, and like you said, it's a rivalry. Grant Paulson, MLB Network Radio, with us right now on Jon and Jim. So, is this 2022 deja vu all over again, where it comes back to San Diego and the Padres don't allow it to go back to Los Angeles? You look at the Michael King Walker Buehler matchup, and it's clearly an advantage for San Diego. It doesn't mean they're going to win the game, obviously, but how do you see this series playing out after what we've seen so far?
I think it feels like it goes the duration, probably, for me. I think the Padres are the better team with the better starting pitching, and so I would pick them. Game 2, I felt really, really good about San Diego winning after Treinen had to throw almost 40 pitches and was burned in Game 1. The bullpen didn't set up as well. And even though they lost Game 1, I loved the fact that they were able to see a couple of their relievers have success in the later innings against Shohei. Tanner Scott, who, Ohtani went into Game 2, 1 for 10 against in his career. Seeing the bullpen and Jason Adam and the guys that they had rolling throw the way they did, I was kind of convinced there's no way they're not winning Game 2. I don't necessarily have the same confidence in Game 3, although, as you said, the pitching matchup clearly favors them. The momentum now shifting back to their ballpark. So that is the way I would roll with Game 3, but kind of feels inevitably like a 5-game type series to me. I'm always going to bet on the team with the better pitching staff. I think the Padres bullpen is better. I think their rotation is better. And look, they're hot. I mean, Fernando Tatis is 9 for 14. You guys know better than I do in the playoffs. Jackson Merrill, who's been incredible all year, 6 for 14 in the postseason. They really haven't necessarily gotten like locked in 3-4 hit game Luis Arraez going. That's coming inevitably. So I like where they're at. I would feel really, really good if I was a Padres fan after splitting in LA.
Yeah, Tatis is the hottest player in the sport in the postseason right now. It's extremely fun to watch. Grant, when you look at the matchup going forward here, I know Ohtani went 0 for 4 last night, but do you still think that the Padres should just pitch to him straight up, or there should be maybe some Ohtani rules here if there were runners in scoring position in this series in a base open?
Oh, if there's a base open and runners in scoring position, there's zero chance I'm pitching to him. The only maybe caveat to that, if I want to talk out of both sides of my mouth, might be at late game with Scott available, rested, ready. I think that matchup plays, and I think they have confidence in that. But for the most part, no chance I'm letting him beat me. You guys joked before I jumped on the line, fellas, about the graphics that the Fox is using. Right. I mean, it's unlike anything I've ever seen. And what's wild about it is it kind of makes sense. I mean, it is one of the most breathtaking player performances all season long that we've seen, and then the 3-run home run, obviously, to even Game 1. I mean, he's delivered the goods. It's not like he doesn't match the hype, but I just wouldn't let him beat me. He's too good. He's on a different level right now. And I think that's generally a good philosophy, period. Now, the trick is, can you avoid pitching to him? In Game 1, the big difference was if you look at the bottom of the lineup, the Dodgers were great to turn things over to him. They were, I don't remember top of my head, but it was like 7 for 13 or whatever it was. The bottom of the order, they were on base constantly, so they didn't have a choice. But if they're able to handle their business against the bottom of the Dodgers lineup, then now you have open bases and it gets a lot easier. So that to me is the key that no one talks about. Everyone's like, oh, you got to keep Ohtani in check. You got to do this. No, you've got to keep the guys at the bottom of the order off base so that you have the wiggle room and the flexibility to do whatever you want with Shohei.
Might want to put a Kyle Higashioka counter up there. He's hit 3 home runs in 4 games in the postseason as well. Grant Paulson, MLB Network Radio, is with us right now on Jon and Jim. Do you kind of wonder, Grant? We wonder locally. I'm wondering from afar. Do you wonder, like, how have the Padres completely turned themselves over in 1 year from a lot of disappointment? It was tremendously disappointing in San Diego to the second half they've enjoyed here in 2024 to AJ Preller just pulling right strings, Cease, Arise, and then smaller moves, Peralta, Jeremiah Estrada, and so on and so forth. How impressive has it been to see this complete turnaround?
Oh, it's incredible. It's a masterclass in roster building, but also in fit in the clubhouse. I think when we were talking, I remember guys last year, like they had all the talent and it didn't work. And it was a rotten clubhouse. And even with, at the time, a manager that everybody liked and thought was really good, they couldn't quite put the pieces together. So number one, I think you give Schultz a lot of credit. I mean, watching what happened last night, Profar in the outfield, and him getting his guys back and the way, that went, I think is kind of indicative of telling of kind of the brotherhood that they've built, the idea of the buy-in that everyone has each other's back. For someone who's analytical and data-driven like me, sometimes the chemistry thing gets undervalued and underappreciated, but you guys have lived through it for a couple of years. It's a game changer. The other thing is, I think, Jackson Merrill has been a complete godsend for this organization. I was talking to him at the All-Star game going back to the summer and about him learning he was going to center field. He told me he showed up one day at spring training and his name was just written out there. They hadn't had a conversation or told him he was going to be doing it definitively. And from that moment forward, he is, I think, completely changed the organization with his exuberance and the work he puts in and that, youthful excellence he's provided. The year that Profar's had, nobody really saw coming. Getting Tatis going here into the postseason's big. But the bottom line is you got to pitch. That's the fact in Major League Baseball. If your rotation's really good and you string together quality starts, then a lot of things that are going on in the clubhouse don't matter. And to have Michael King and Dylan Cease, who I saw throw a no-hitter here in person in D.C. this year, sadly with what happened to Joe Musgrove, bringing him up. But, the year he had, and Darvish when he was healthy, and Perez threw the ball very well in his starts. There's nothing else to it. I mean, it's over at that. It's like having a quarterback in football. The coordinator, the coach, the defense, it all matters a lot less. Now that's the answer key. That is the antidote for everything else, and they've had it this year.
Is there a player that reminds you of Jackson Merrill? Because to me, I mean, getting a nominated today for the Hank Aaron Award, which was incredible honor for him. Is there a player that he reminds you of in like the history of the sport?
That's a great question. I feel like I've asked him that question too, because I've had him when he was in the minor leagues on a couple of times. I mean, the shortstop to center field move and the energy he plays with, like a name that would jump out recently, and it's kind of a strange comp physically, I would say, in terms of like their style of play or their body types, but maybe like Adam Jones from the Orioles. In that he was kind of a 25 or so homer, like 30 homer power at his peak, a center fielder for the Orioles, came up as a middle infielder, transitioned after the big leagues shortly thereafter. But still 20 bags, some of the same kind of skill set if you look at the numbers on the back of a baseball card. But I also think he's that kind of energizer bunny. Like they make the big catch at the outfield wall and they're fist pumping and everybody's fired up. I think Merrill's done some of the things for that San Diego clubhouse that Jones did with the Orioles years ago when they started to turn the corner and start competing in the playoffs.
I like that comp. I really do. Grant, we appreciate you taking time for us. By the way, I'm just looking at Adam Jones hit nearly 300 home runs in the big leagues. He was a damn good player for a long period of time. Grant, we appreciate it. We're looking forward to what's to come here in this series between the Padres and the Dodgers, and hopefully we can do it again at some point later this month. And thanks for hopping on, man.
Yeah, I'd love it. I'm telling you guys, man, baseball, I think they need the Padres to make a run. It's just a fun group. It's good TV. It's good, just a good conversation, one way or the other. I think they make people feel, and that matters.
Yeah, we agree, Grant. Thank you.
Thanks, buddy.
Grant
All right,
Paulson,
see ya.
MLB Network Radio. Someone tell Fox that.
They make me feel every single night. How you doing?
Someone tell Fox that baseball needs the Padres, though, because I think the way Fox is presenting it is like baseball needs Shohei Ohtani in Los Angeles.
It's not about what team they want. It's about the player.
That's the thing.
And what Grant said there is absolutely perfect. It's about the team. The Padres as a team,
I agree,
have everything that you want to see from a national perspective to bring in the eyes to the game, from the star players to the flashy players to the antics, which we all love here, to the great pitching, to this young superstar rookie player. Like, they have it all. The thing is that baseball wants just one singular player, and that's the mindset's completely off.
Completely agree. All right, on the other side, we will tell you what Dave Roberts just told the media about what happened last night with Manny Machado. It's a completely outlandish claim that you'll hear on the other side. Plus, we have the wrap to get to. We'll get to it at 5:30. It's Jon and Jim. All right, hey guys, it's Jon and Jim. We've been telling you for a couple of months about our friends over at Jamul Casino. This is a great month to get over there. Throughout the course of October, MLB postseason, of course, the NFL season, and on Monday nights, including tonight, you've got a chance to win big. Monday Night Live, Smashing Pumpkins.
Yeah, you can earn entries all month long and playing and getting 2-time entries on Tuesdays with at least $500 in cash for all winners and a chance to win up to $25,000 in cash. You can catch all the playoff action and football action at Tony Gwynn Sports Pub. We went there a couple weeks ago. It is a fantastic place to watch a sporting event. And also, by the way, their food is amazing.
100% right. You need to get to Tony Gwynn Sports Pub, which is spectacular. Football, baseball, the food, the drinks. And then they've got their endless dining we've been telling you about as well. They also have fresh flavors, fresh look. Emerald is back, which is a Chinese cuisine. So they have that, but they have endless dining 5 nights a week, including Saturday surf and turf buffet. You're going to love it. Succulent steaks, delectable seafood, and more.
Yeah, get to Jamul Casino right now to enjoy all the fun that they have to offer. Jamul Casino, it's fun above all else.
All right, Jon and Jim back with you. I don't know where Jim is. Should be here in a moment. Okay, here's some interesting comments. What are you doing? Honestly, what do you have in your hand? If it's like candy or Starburst or Reese's Pieces, we do 1 3-hour show. We got people listening to us that work for 13 hours a day. Maybe 24 hours. Some people have kids. You have to turn your mic on. Nobody can hear you. All right, here's the thing. Did you bring candy? Yeah, thanks. Yes, yes, did I bring you candy? Yeah, you did. I did. What else did you do? I went to go talk to a program director, and I talked to Mike Usher about what's going on tomorrow and what's happening from 1 to 3. This is how you lose a series. If the Padres are thinking about game 4 during game 3.
No. I'm thinking about game 3, John, which is tomorrow.
But we got a show today.
But the show tomorrow is the game 3 show.
Oh, this is just some exhibition show.
No, this is like
I'm kidding.
Look, did I forget that
we were coming back?
We were coming back
you
at
missed
this
30
time.
seconds. Let me read this from Dave Roberts. This is I'm going to say it. I'm going to say
Give
it.
it
This
to
is
me.
asinine.
Give it to me.
Here's an answer. Here's the question. Last night, did the ball that Machado throw into the dugout almost hit you? And did you feel that should have been an ejection because Tripp Gibson went over there right away to try to intervene? But that's what seemed to be what sparked the jawing between Flaherty and Machado. Did it almost hit you? This is the question that was asked. So that's not the ball that Machado, quote unquote, put or threw or rolled into the dugout that we've been talking about occasionally.
Give me a break.
Dave Roberts, direct quote. I didn't notice it at the time. I really didn't. I didn't notice it. I did see the video, and it was unsettling. Obviously, I have a relationship with Manny from years past. There was intent behind it. It didn't almost hit me because there was a net, and that was very bothersome. If it was intended at me, I would be it's pretty disrespectful. So I don't know his intent. I don't want to speak for him, but I did see the video and the ball was directed at me with something behind it, but I don't know what led to that. I didn't see it in real time, but I did see the video. Is he trying to reverse? Is he trying to do what the Padres have done, which is get under their skin? It's not going to work this time around. Like you can't do it unorganically. What are we talking about here?
Mm-hmm. Mike Schultz had a great quote. This isn't the exact quote, but it's along these lines. Losers make excuses, winners find solutions.
He loves saying that.
It's kind of that's what the quote is.
Mm-hmm.
What Dave Roberts is doing right now is focusing on things that aren't important because why? I don't know.
Is he trying to do with the pot, like get under the Padres' skin? It's not going to work.
Not a good idea, buddy.
And it's not going to work. Or is he trying to fire up his team the way the Padres team got fired up by the opponent?
That's also a bad thing, too, that you have to try to take these situations to fire up your team. The reasons why the Padres got fired up last night was because they got fired up from Jack Flaherty being a moron. They got fired up from the fan base not knowing how to fan and not being able to control their temper and control their fandom and getting, really just Profar getting really under their skins. And by the way, I've seen this on social media. I haven't said this today. The victim blaming from Dodgers fans saying that the reason why the fans threw stuff at Profar and trash on the field at Tatis's direction was because of Profar's antics. Give me a break. You have to be better than that.
I mean, what does that even mean? When he robbed the home run ball?
I've seen so many people on social media. Now, social media is fake.
Yeah, I mean, but that goes back to what we said about like a Kelly or a Brusdar Gratterall from a couple of years ago.
Right.
This is always, players will be animated.
They will.
It's going to happen. It's the
That's
postseason.
sport. Like, do you want your player to be like, monotone? No, I want my player to be like Jerkson Profar. I want my players to be like Fernando Tatis Jr. and Jackson Merrill and Manny Machado. Like, I want them to show emotion. And if you as a fan can't handle that and it gets under your skin and you revert to being like the lowest scum loser of the fan base to throw stuff at the players, like,
right.
Dude,
where's this video, by the way?
I want to see this video of Manny.
And how come nobody was asking Dave Roberts about it last night? So why is it a day later that there's some big video of Manny Machado was hurling a ball into a net that was aimed for Dave Roberts and it was unsettling and disrespectful? Did this actually happen? Where's the video?
Is this like one of those instances where, you know, the ball was tossed over Dave Roberts' way, and he's like,
"Oh
Manny's
my
trying to
gosh.
hurt me.
Did he throw
Manny's trying to hurt me."
Has anyone seen him? Did he throw overhand with any velocity, or was it an underhand throw to the dugout? There's a net. Dave Roberts just said there's a net.
Well, thank God. Otherwise, Dave
Yeah,
Roberts
he'd be
would be dead.
Are we? I feel like we're creating like fake controversy, and by we I mean the Dodgers.
Where is this
Well,
video?
I don't think the video exists.
They're just playing the victim card. It's like Jim said. He's just playing the victim card, just like last night about how, you know, oh, it's not about our fans, you know, throwing objects at, you know, the other players. It's, you know, they hit a home run and they laughed. So, you know, it's not our fans' fault that they threw stuff at them. It's the Padres' fault. You know, we're the ones that, you know, we're the victims in this. And
What an utter embarrassment for Dave Roberts to say that. That is embarrassing. I'm sorry.
I don't even know what he's trying to do. I mean, is he trying to fire up his own clubhouse? To your point, shouldn't they be fired up enough? They just lost this team 2 years ago. They lost last year in the NLDS. They need additional motivation to get up for the next 2 games here.
I mean,
at Petco Park. I need the video. It's a Major League Baseball game at Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles. Where's the video of Manny Machado chucking this ball at Dave Roberts?
How embarrassing is it to say that as a manager of a professional baseball team, to instead talk about how, you know, you need to go out there and you need to be better at all facets of the game. You need to have better pitching. You need to be better with runners in scoring position. You need to be better from stopping the Padres to score first. You need to have better starting pitching. And the thing that you're talking about is Manny Machado, you know, tossing a baseball over to you and you're scared for your life. Give me a break. That's the most embarrassing thing I've ever heard in my life.
I got more UFO footage than I have footage of Manny Machado chucking this ball at Dave Roberts. Where is the video?
Where's the footage?
We'll get your calls on the other side if you want to weigh in on this series. 877-767-4760. Jim's back page ahead as well. It's Jon and Jim.
All right, this update is brought to you expresspros.com. Padres Dodgers game 3 tomorrow night. Hopefully Dave Roberts feels safe after Manny Machado viciously threw a baseball at him. We'll talk about that more coming up next. Series tied at 1 apiece. Michael King on the mound for the Padres against Walker Buehler for the Dodgers. Scores around baseball today in the postseason. ALDS game 2 between the Tigers and the Guardians. Tigers won that game 3-0. They scored 3 runs in the top of the 9th off of Emmanuel Clase. That series is tied up at 1 game apiece. Yankees-Royals, bottom 3rd. That game is still scoreless. Yankees lead 1-0. If your supply chain demands a flexible workforce, hire with Express Employment Professionals. With contract and full-time workers from Express Employment, you get the staff you need and manage contingent labor cost. Learn more at expresspros.com. That's expresspros.com.
All right, well, Dave Roberts has seen video of Manny Machado, like Jim said, viciously throwing a ball in his direction. Yet no one else. Game that was played on national television in Los Angeles at Dodger Stadium with all the angles. Nobody has seen this video that is under lock and key, apparently. But Dave Roberts has seen it. And he was disrespected by it, and he thought it was intense. It didn't take long for social media to post videos of
Dodger fans last night throwing stuff on the field.
No, about 5 minutes.
Like maybe less. They got caught pretty easily. And yet there's nothing on social media that I've seen yet. Maybe it's out there.
If you haven't seen it, it doesn't exist because you have seen everything and you obsess over it.
I would laugh if for tomorrow's game, Dave Roberts just showed up with like a bulletproof vest on, like he's 50 Cent, just because he's so fearful of getting killed in the dugout.
He called it unsettling and disrespectful. Manny Machado throwing a ball into the Dodgers dugout directed at him. Let's go to the phones. 877-767-4760. Richard, you're on with Jon and Jim. Thanks for calling in.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. What's up, Richard?
Go.
Hey, guys. It's Richard.
Hey, man.
I follow you guys on your broadcast on Jon and Jim.
Appreciate you.
I was the one that did the $10 super chat last night.
Oh,
thank you.
Thank
Richard,
you.
We appreciate you.
Yeah, absolutely. I love listening to you guys. So real quick, this is how disrespectful the Dodger fans are. I'm on Facebook. What is it called? National League West Trash Talk.
Okay.
I do a lot of trash talking. It's part of the sport, and you know, it's right now it's basically Padres Dodgers trash talking about this, that, whatever. I go to history. Some Dodger fans are like, "What history? What's that?" Well, in one instant, and this is how horrible Dodger fans are, and not all of them. Just, you know, you're going to get that 1% or 2% or so. So recently I just lost my dog. And so there's a picture in my pictures or in my Facebook of me hugging my dog for the last moment. This individual went into my Facebook, cropped a picture of me and my dog, and then put it into like a meme and said, "This is how you're going to feel when we beat you." Was I mad? Absolutely. Like, really, dude? You literally had to go into my Facebook profile, crop a picture, and do that? Like, totally disrespect. And I was like, wow. And then watching the game last night, like, guys, really? Like, I've been to so many Dodger fans and Padres Dodger games. Never, ever have I ever seen something like that. And I'm just like, wow.
Richard, we appreciate the call. Yeah, listen, fans can be idiots. Okay,
Yeah,
we've all been to sporting events. It happens
to
everywhere.
Every team. It's not just singular out the
Right.
Dodgers.
And there can be fights in stands, and there have been objects thrown on fields before. This is not the first instance in the history of baseball of objects being thrown on the field. But with all that being said, keep it like there are areas you can go, hey, Dodgers suck. Fair.
Yeah.
You know, but some of the stuff is out of bounds. Obviously, throwing things at players is absurd in any sport. Some of the stuff is part of fandom. Some of it goes beyond fandom, and you just got to know. There's a line in there somewhere, and you just got to know. That's how I look at it.
This is my favorite meme / thing from last night. I think it says a lot about the Padres and forgiveness that even after having the Dodgers fans throw things at them from the bleachers, they continue hitting balls into the bleachers for the Dodgers fans to throw at them.
Yeah, we saw that. I mean, the last laugh is decided on field. It is. It's not on memes. It's not on Facebook. It's not in throwing items. The last laugh here. And by the way, it's now a whole off season, one way or the other. You know what I mean? I mean, if the Dodgers win this series, you don't hear the end of it. If the Padres win this series, you don't hear the end of it. Like a good rivalry.
Yeah.
If the Padres right now were playing the Marlins, I mean, come on.
It's different.
It's different. I'm not saying it doesn't matter. Oh, it matters because you're trying to win a World Series. But if you lose to Miami, are you going to like lose sleep every night because Marlins fans are coming after you? No. But with the Dodgers, it's different.
Yeah, I would take this, by the way, series over
Me too.
any other series because it just heightens everything. It makes things more dramatic. It just brings a different energy as a fan to the game for both teams and both sides. And yeah, I mean, are all fans perfect? Like, no,
probably not.
Like, it's hard for me to say something like this, but there are some good Dodger fans out there. But as much hate as I have for the Dodgers, I have seen a lot of instances that make me feel like the Dodgers fan base as a majority is the worst. I just feel like I can't stand majority of Dodger fans. I just can't stand them. And it's pretty evident that it was backed up with last night and going forward. And they're the ultimate, like, I just go back to the meme of the stall meme where they
don't care about you, but all they do is care about you.
All they do is call the Padres fans little brothers, and they say, you know, what's in your trophy case and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I wasn't even talking about you.
I also don't like, though, from like the on-field and manager office angle that like Dave Roberts is basically playing into the narrative that Manny Machado is dirty. Right? Like it's a very easy narrative to go after. You could just look at the history of Manny Machado's career. And you know what? When Dave Roberts lights that, you're basically, what you're doing is saying, just go wrong with it, national media. I'm in Los Angeles. I'm going to say this. Someone go wrong with it because, you know, Manny's had all these moments over the course of his career where he has not, you know, he hasn't played clean, so to speak. Right? That's basically what you're saying. Oh, if you saw this video, you wouldn't believe it. But nobody has seen the video.
It's the same thing that Ken Rosenthal did last night after the Manny huddle. He's like, Manny's a dirty player in his past, and we know that. But man, what a great moment Manny just had. Like, what's the need to bring up any of that?
Right.
Why can't you just say, like, Manny Machado, pretty crazy, wild moment here in the dugout where after that top of the inning, bottom of the inning, excuse me, and Manny huddled everybody up, and that's, you know, talking to players in the clubhouse this year, they say how much Manny's leadership has taken it to a next level. But no, you got to put the guy down before you talk. Bring him up. Like,
Honestly,
it's ridiculous.
Like, think about the 6 seasons he's been a Padre. How much controversy has there been when it comes to whether he's a quote unquote dirty player or not? Like, give me the example in a Padres uniform.
No, none. I can't remember a time.
Now,
no.
Will he rub some people the wrong way in a clubhouse?
Yeah.
Will he speak what he believes to be the truth? Will he be somewhat polarizing? I kind of like it. I like the breath of fresh air that he actually doesn't just speak in like coach-isms. He's truthful at times. It can rub people the wrong way, but where are the cleat high slides and where are the I don't know, things taking them outside the white lines and bring it onto the field of play? I haven't really seen it. I think he'll trash talk, but him and dozens of other players do the exact same thing, but for whatever reason, there's a lot more attention on him.
There's been more issues inside that own Padres clubhouse with maybe Manny than there have been with him against opposing teams.
Potentially.
Like, you could argue that there's, you know, the Tatis in St. Louis last year. What is this, high school baseball? But
yeah, like on the field,
on the field, nah. I mean, dude, he played it so perfectly last night post game, where he could have easily said something that could have been used as a quote or whatever. And he took the high road and he didn't say one thing. Now, he did insinuate that, like, hey, you know, if you're going to throw at our player, like,
yeah, that's at the end of it, he did go there.
You gotta, you know, play baseball, and that's not baseball if you're doing that. But everything else, like, he went straight up. He's like, we're trying to win a baseball game.
I mean, I cannot wait for tomorrow night. It is game 3.
It just gets spicier and spicier,
and the
man.
drama continues to increase, and it's going to be, I mean, cinema, hopefully. Walker Buehler, who has not thrown it well this year, opposite Michael King, who's thrown it really well in a critical third game at Petco Park, 6 p.m. start. We'll broadcast from the Naughty Barrel from 3 to 6 tomorrow. We'll do it again on Wednesday. We'll be downtown. Get downtown early. Join us. They'll have happy hour food and drink specials beginning at 4 p.m. and join us and say hi. We'll be broadcasting live from 3 to 6. All right. On the other side, we will get to Jim's back page. This is Jon and Jim. Hey guys, it's Jay for lower mortgage rates are finally here thanks to the Fed and Loan Pronto. Loan Pronto just locked in a homeowner at 4.59% APR, the lowest in 2 years. Whether you got your loan last month or last year, it's time to call Loan Pronto and dump that high rate loan. You can lock in a lower rate fast with virtually no paperwork and usually no appraisal. There's no limit on how many times you can refi. So get started. Use this opportunity to get cash out and wipe out your credit cards. You can do a cash out refi and get 50, 100 grand or more out of your home and use that to pay off all your high interest debt and end up with just one low monthly payment. If you act now, you can skip not just your next house payment, but your next 2. Purchase loans available as well. So call now. Get your rate quote in minutes with no hard credit pull and no upfront fees like those other guys. VA Streamline loans are also available with Loan Pronto. Call 619-207-4336 or loanpronto.com. 619-207-4336, loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781 on approved credit, NMLSconsumeraccess.org. Dave Roberts has more to say.
What is he
won't
doing?
stop talking. Dave Roberts on the Padres, that team over there, they like the villain type kind of role.
So, wait, they're playing the victim card.
Mm-hmm.
Yet their own fans and Jack Flaherty were the ones last night that instigated the chirping and then also instigated the throwing the balls at the players along with trash on the field towards us. Yet the Dodgers are now the victims. The Padres are the victims.
Not just the victims. So it's almost like that. Hey, we're the little engine that could. We're going to now be the underdog, because they're trying to punk us and they're playing this villain type role. We now, of course, when the series started, the Dodgers were the favorites. They'll never be considered an underdog. The payroll is double the Padres' payroll. So I don't know if he's trying to change that narrative, or if he's trying to ignite something in his own team, or if he's left for nothing else but grasping at straws. Stay tuned. Tomorrow at 6, Game 3. Decided on the field between the Padres and the Dodgers. And right now, let's get to this.
I'm like still in kind of shock at what Dave Roberts is saying down at Petco Park right now. Unbelievable. Wow. Taco Bell, John, is releasing a double-decker taco on October 10th. Taco Bell fans are in for a treat as the much-loved double-decker taco is set to return to menus for a limited time. It was announced last Friday that the taco will be returning on October 10th.
Did they just get rid of it?
Yeah, but now they're bringing it back.
Bring it back.
Bring it back. Bring it back
for the postseason.
Well, that was like one of my favorite things. That's why
wow.
That's why I noticed.
Okay.
They're so good.
All right. The double decker.
Oh,
And I
so
remember,
good.
you probably remember the commercials. Because I remember because it came out that year when Shaq and Olajuwon played in the finals, because they had the commercial together, because Shaq like crunchy tacos and Akeem like soft tacos.
I
and
do
then
remember
it
that.
kind of turned into like a Miller Lite thing.
So yeah, be on the lookout for that.
I'll be looking, that's for sure.
Yeah, I will. It is Crumble Cookie Day, John.
Every day, really,
Yeah,
right?
hey, every day is.
I mean, Mondays
on
are-
this show.
They
anyways.
release their cookies or whatever.
Yeah, for October 7th through the 12th. Here is the Crumble Cookies of the week. Regular milk chocolate chip cookie.
Okay.
Now, these are just like the special ones. They also have ones they sell every day, but these are like the special ones you can get. A pumpkin chocolate chip cookie.
Ooh.
A caramel apple cookie.
Sounds amazing.
With it, what it looks like pieces of apple on top of the frosting. A tres leches cake. It's not a cookie, but still. A maple cream sandwich.
Okay.
And a chocolate peanut butter pie with Reese's on the top.
The fact that you continue to do it week in and week out is a credit to you and not get paid a dime to do it. I like it. Do it as long as possible.
It's my bit.
Yeah, I like it.
It's my bit.
You're just like, you're a promoter for Crumble. I like it.
I can also be a promoter for Krispy Kreme.
True.
Because Krispy Kreme has just dropped a Ghostbusters lineup featuring 4 donuts and a Slimer drink for the spooky holiday season. They have a Slimer-filled donut. They have a Stay Puff Marshmallow Man pull-apart donut. They also have a Ghostbusters cookie and cream donut, and then an orange icing crumble top donut as well, called the what is it? The Ghostbuster Collection donut, and then the Slimer Slimeade.
Why?
Because it's the spooky holiday season, Brent.
I know, but like, I could see if like, oh hey, there's a new Ghostbusters movie coming out, so we're gonna tie. It's like there's no new Ghostbusters.
Just Halloween, October.
Just Halloween.
Like they should have done it last year.
Cold Stone. Love me some Cold Stone.
You love
I like
Cold
Cold
Stone.
Stone.
Yeah, everyone does.
Love Cold Stone. Aaron, anytime I mention like Cold Stone for her, it's kind of a problem because then like I end up having to go get Cold Stone. So I kind of just like pick and choose my.
Is it weird that I know they don't make it, but to watch them make your cup of ice cream or just to pound it on the Cold Stone?
I like that.
That's like
I don't
my
mind
favorite
it.
part.
Yeah, I like that.
I like it. Cold Stone Creamery has launched a new item for the spooky holidays: the Boo Batter Taco.
Taco?
Yeah. It's unfortunately only available until tomorrow. So you'll be needing to go right now, tonight, to Cold Stone to get a
We're outta
Boo
here.
Batter taco. It's a crunchy, chocolate-coated waffle taco with festive sprinkles filled with Boo Batter ice cream. So it's like a Choco taco.
Aren't all sprinkles festive?
Well, these are pumpkins and bats and ghosts, Brent.
I know. I've never seen sprinkles, and we're like, man, those are some depressing sprinkles.
It's like those all those black
All those
sprinkles.
colors.
Yeah. Finally, a Friends game show is coming to HBO Max in honor of the sitcom's 30th anniversary.
Okay.
A 4-part competition series titled Fast Friends will be filmed inside the Friends Experience, the one in New York. And it's the release date has not been announced, but the production is already underway. Remember the episode where they did like the flashcards and it was Ross and Monica versus Chandler and Joey?
Let me answer that. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, they're basically doing a game show based off of that scene.
Have you seen every Friends episode?
Are you a big Friends
yeah.
person?
I mean, I like Friends.
Okay, yeah, I've seen it,
I'm
but
not a
I
big
don't.
Friends person,
yeah.
but I've watched.
I don't hate Friends. I don't think I've seen every episode.
I think I've
but
watched.
It's okay.
Isn't hating Friends an oxymoron?
It is kind of a little bit of an oxymoron.
You're not supposed to hate your friends.
No, you love your friends.
You can.
Yeah. Love your friends. Anyway, I still can't get over what Dave Roberts said.
Man, you were just at a loss. Like basically, like he said something you've never heard.
If I'm telling you right now, Dodger fans, Dodgers, do not let the Padres win this series. Like, remember when
I don't think they plan on it.
No, but remember, no. It's not just because of that, Brent. Remember when the Red Sox were like, "Don't let us win tomorrow night." This is, to me, if the Dodgers lose this series, oh my God, you will never hear the end of it, Dodger fans or Dodgers players, forever. This has now reached another level.
Beyond 2022.
Beyond 2022.
Hey, you'll always have 2020.
Man. Tell you what. Oh man, if the Dodgers lose this series, dude.
Yeah, I think it's more, but this to
God.
me, this series isn't summarizing the season. If the Padres do the same thing they did in 2022, which is beat the Dodgers but come up short, that's not enough.
Right.
So forget about that. When they get under your skin, you're playing their game. By the way, there is video of Dave Roberts, what he said this afternoon. So
I wanted video of actually Manny Machado.
Not Manny Machado as of yet.
Oh, I say not that video.
No,
though.
but there is audio of Dave Roberts. He didn't say it in front of no one with no cameras. Just like, but Manny Machado apparently threw this ball in front of 57,000 people. But
I can't wait for the big breakdown. It's be like the JFK back and to the left.
I can't wait.
Back and to the left.
Honestly, I don't even care what the video shows. I mean, I don't even believe that there really is a video. I don't think there's a video. Anyway, much more downtown tomorrow from the Naughty Barrel. We're on the air from 3 to 6. Come, hang, enjoy. Not the market. Get ready for the game with us. Grab some food, grab a drink, say hello. Happy hour begins at 4 p.m. First pitch tomorrow, just after 6 p.m. inside Petco Park. Decent atmosphere. Padres and Dodgers. Yeah. Should be a nice crowd. Padres Dodgers game 3 of this best of 5 series. Enjoy tomorrow. If you missed anything today, Sports iHeartRadio app, iTunes, TuneIn Radio, or Spotify. You can find us on social media at Jon Jim. We will see you downtown tomorrow at 3 p.m. from the Naughty Barrel, right back here in San Diego Sports 760. Brent and Jim, I'm John. Keep it here. This is San Diego Sports 760. Peace out. Bye. Bye-bye.